hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Yeah, it's. I'm in a different room in my house.
Oh, okay.
And this is down the basement, and there's no connection really. So
shit, my shit ain't kicking off either. What's going on around here?
Nah, we good. We recording, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see everything now. Okay, I'm 99%. Let's do this, man.
Yeah. The listeners don't know what 99% mean, man.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I don't hear you say it.
That's how my thing be doing, man. I don't know what it mean either, but that's what it
That's like when you came on. It's like, I'm the host. They don't know what the hell that means. He's like, yo, I'm the host.
I'm just trying to say something. I'm just saying. Boy, I think Damo don't be letting nothing slide, man.
Yeah, because I be listening back to the episode.
At all.
That was about, goddamn, 3 weeks ago, man?
Yeah. I be listening back. I be living with it, man. Hey, we back. Look, hey. Yo, we back having motion, man. We back on TikTok. We back on Instagram. We back having motion out there, man. It's been a minute for us, man.
Yeah.
Tish back.
Yeah, man.
Off vacation.
It's been a minute. And also it's been more than a minute for Tish.
Tish, man.
You know what?
Man, it's been more than a minute.
I've been living that life.
Yeah.
I've been living that life.
Yeah. Came back, threw the emerald on. You threw the emerald on.
Become a little mermaid and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to live my life on the beach.
How was vacation?
It was bomb. Turks and Caicos was amazing. Like, it was a show. It was a party. It was a show. It was a movie or whatever it is that they say. Yeah. And we got a lot of footage, some that will never be seen.
Yeah. It looked like you had a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie about that. It damn Joe looked
never
like.
be seen is crazy. Like never be seen at what age? At your age is crazy. The hell y'all got going on? That's like David last week said he was starting a page. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna start a page. Y'all gonna give me some money."
Hey, bro. Hey, she got that shit in the basement to my lost files and shit.
Yeah. We saw you. We kept the files. We saw you. Yeah, we put it up on the page.
Yeah, man.
On the water, making waves, man. Living like Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons.
Listen, if times be hard, if that retirement check don't kick in the way it's supposed to, catch me on OnlyFans.
Showing toes and shit. Showing toes and hands and shit.
We just lost a lieutenant commander, man. We just lost one, man.
Oh, man. What?
Listen, we don't lost a lot of sailors to OnlyFans, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Making some money out there, man. They making some cheese out there. You know?
Yeah. Sailors then got out the Navy. Yeah. Started OnlyFans.
Yeah, they like, I'm about to go make some racks on my toes.
Like, yo, no longer swapping decks, man. You know what I mean? Like, this some of them going past the toes. I know y'all try to, stay safe and PG, man. Some of them, they doing more than toes on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to keep it PG. I
would try. They be out there thinking that thing.
Yeah, man. They out there doing a lot, man. Doing a lot. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah, man. What she say? You got to use what you got to get what you want.
Hit him with it, Damo. Hit him with it, Damo.
Man. Players Club reference. Yes, that's how we coming. That's how we coming. All episodes. It's hip hop 50th birthday. It's hip hop 50th birthday. That's how we coming. To the listeners, y'all know I'm a hip hop baby. If y'all started the episode on episode 1, the episode that we never put out, y'all know I'm a hip hop baby. If you had a chance to hear it, that means you bought like a hat or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the 50th birthday of hip hop. Today is the 12th, actually, the day that we recording. But yesterday, the 11th, was the 50th hip hop birthday of hip hop. And my question for y'all is, what was y'all's favorite era?
Oh, for me, man. Like I can just tell you, like I don't know if I can jump into eras, but I tell you, man. I grew up on the Cash Money, No Limit, growing up type stuff. You know what I mean? That's kind of because I'm from Mississippi, so it ain't like we had no artists or anything like that. So I grew up during that time. I remember coming into the Navy, man, and one of my guys from Baltimore put me on DMX. And then the way he sounded and how gritty he was, then I was like in the gym guy. I was like, man, it's right up my alley getting pumped up in the gym. But I always, it was you always had your Tupac and your Biggies and stuff like that. It was always on the radio. It was always something that we heard because I grew up in a juke joint, right? So you heard that all the time. But them like the only artist type you heard outside of the South. You know what I mean? Down there, like Biggie, Tupac. Then you start hearing NWA. You know, NWA was back then. But other than that, you was only hearing some from down south or blues or something like that.
Yeah. What about you, T?
Yeah, I think my era was, I think it was like 2006 to 2009. I just remember being on my IA to Tampa stand. And
whenever Tish got action, man, she got a nickname for wherever she was at with action.
You know, you got to just gangsterify it a little bit. I wasn't in Tampa. I was in Tampa Stan. And that was back when T-Pain became real big. And T-Pain took over everything. Between T-Pain and was it DJ Khaled was all over everything. And all the dances and everything. And so I think that was my era.
Yeah, that was just a couple years ago, Tish.
It was not a couple years ago. It was like 2000. I can remember 2003.
You got it right. Like those
so
it was doing that time.
Right?
Yeah,
2009. Yeah. So that was. I had my freedom. I was finally like over 21, so I could actually like, groove to the music and go to the clubs and stuff like that. So yeah.
So you was lighting off to All I Do Is Win, huh? I was light all time for you. All I do is win. She said you put your hands up and they stay there.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Up, down. Mine was 98 to like 03. 98 to 03. So like from It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, from like DMX's first album. And I was aware of whatever happened before then, but from 98 to probably from DMX's first album to the year The Blueprint, The Fix, and Stillmatic came out. The Fix, that was Scarface's classic or whatever, even though most of his albums classic. But that year, and we could even bring it to like 05 to like when 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying came out. But I think 98 to 03 to keep it at like 5 years, that was my favorite era of hip hop.
Yeah.
Everything just was moving and working for me. I mean, it actually, I started writing music and stuff like, so it inspired me in that moment. Like that, like DMX inspired me to write music. That was my inspiration to write music. He was the first guy. I mean, and that bridged over to film for me. That bridged over to like me, like all the rappers used to talk about the old gangster movies, De Niro, Pacino, and all that. So that kind of Tarantino movie. So that kind of took me to film. And that, I don't even think we would have a podcast, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for hip hop, to be honest.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. I tell you, man, like, so the hip hop thing was like 73, right? And you had, I think the founder was DJ Kool Herc was one of the founders, right? So, and then into this era, into now, right? The biggest thing, man, is the communication between the eras, right? You listen back, people talking about like their hoods and where they from, and if you go back way then, it's like they showing you what's going on in they neighborhoods, right? And even to now, you got your Lil Waynes, you got all these little guys that come up. We hear about where they grew up at. You know what I mean? How they grew up in the inner cities and things like that. Man, it's still today. That's kind of how, these guys are living through hip hop, man.
Yeah, man, you like a journalist, like a ghetto journalist, even like people, that they would quote unquote say was like from outside the culture, like Eminem, for instance, like that's what you was getting from Eminem. You was getting his neighborhood, that whole 7 mile, 8 mile Detroit area that he was from. And it was a world that we never saw. When NWA came out, that was a world that, if you was from the East Coast or if you was from the suburbs or something, you never saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alabama, I don't really know too many artists from Alabama, but something did just happen there. So, hey, before we get to Alabama, happy birthday hip hop.
Yeah.
I would not be here today If it, like me personally, like I'd probably be dead or in jail or something. If it wasn't for hip hop kept my ass in the house.
Yeah.
Like it kept me in trouble with my mom, but it kept me in the house. You know what I mean? You know, she used to find lyrics. I used to have to try to hide them. My mom found them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hip hop saved my life, man. I don't know where I would have been if it wasn't for it. So definitely happy birthday to hip hop, my first love.
Yeah, man, most definitely. Hey, one more shout out too, man. Like, so growing up, I ain't had no Mississippi, hip hop artists for a long time, man. My first guy, man, was David Banner, man. So big shouts out to David Banner, man. That's my guy, man. That's my guy, man.
You know, Georgia got everybody. We got everything in Georgia. But one of my favorite hip hop moments growing up was the Busta Rhymes verse and Look at Me Now.
Yeah.
Trying to get that.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to get it. I was like, my head.
We used to try it. And when it used to come on, we used to be like,
Yo, Batiste, wasn't you like mid-30s? Like when that song, you had to be like mid-30s.
No, when did that song come out? No, I'm 38.
Yeah, so you was like 32.
But it felt like I was still growing up. That song was not.
You probably was. You probably was still growing up.
Was it? I guess I was still growing up. At 32, I was still growing up. Listen, I just
let me see. I'm gonna look it up, yo.
I feel like it was before that.
Hey, for the people that's watching, my laptop far away. That's why I look wild like this.
And it's all shaking.
Yeah, my laptop far away. Well, they ain't gonna see that.
Your camera got a heartbeat.
2011.
Okay.
2011.
Okay. Yeah, you seem like it was longer than that.
Yeah, that's why I say you said
you was your 20s, too.
You was like 32.
No. Yeah, I was in my 20s.
You grown, man. You was trying to remember that Busta Rhymes. You should have been trying to trade your junior sellers, man.
Nah, I was just a Busta. And maybe I was in the office doing it then. Maybe that's what I was training.
You probably was doing it with your sellers.
Get this verse.
Yeah.
Learn this verse.
Every time I do it, I got to get it, then I got to hit it, then I got to
flow with it.
Yeah, that thing was rolling. He was rolling that song, boy. That shit was huge, man.
You know what? That's true because I remember getting promoted. Every time somebody get promoted, you singing that song. I'm getting paper. Look at me now.
I guess we won't even get into I Believe I Can Fly for when people used to graduate, right? We gonna leave that low.
Every kid
man.
Every kid graduation, they sing I Believe I Can Fly. No more.
Yeah, man. So what happened, Damon?
Yeah, man. Let's get into this universal, the hat fly, man. I don't want to get too deep into this because it's crazy out there right now on social media about the brawl in Alabama, man. But I want to say, man, these guys is out there that's making these videos and making these memes and making all this stuff, man. Hey, you guys are going freaking hard out there, man, in the paint, man. The interview with the chair is crazy. You know what I mean? The Aquaman is crazy. Like, these videos out here are very, very freaking creative, man. You got to give them some love out there, man, on what they doing for these videos. But I tell you, man, like I said, I don't want to get into like the content and all that others video because I think it's a little bit, diverse a little bit. But what I want to say is, man, old boy, when he jumped in that water, man, and was swimming across there, man. And if you guys haven't saw the video, man, go out there and listen to it. So old boy was swimming across there. And the lady that had the video, that was videoing it, how she was talking, bro. God damn.
Her commentary was everything.
Hey, man, that shit is the funniest shit freaking ever, man. But yeah, like I said, man, that was big, man. I'm talking about, I think people have now broken down every feature of that whole video that came out and made something about it. But yeah, man, it was crazy out there though.
And the chair sales are skyrocketing. Like I heard that the price of the folding chairs is going up.
Yeah, it's been more attacks.
I saw one was $24.99. Some guy was making a video. He making the t-shirts with it on there, man. And he said, man, when you get an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. He have to make t-shirts.
Yeah, my man was wrong when he hit that lady though. Like,
You think he knew it was a lady though? You think he knew it was a lady?
I know it was a lady but
we watching it though. He just turned around like
he had adrenaline. You think he just had adrenaline?
Yeah,
that was a sharp hit. That was an on point sharp hit. Like,
it was
with precision,
bro. It was a couple of them boys that need to be in UFC, man.
He was like 68. He was like 68 years old. Though.
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you what, though, when old boy Swim crossed, though, it seemed like he wasn't ready yet. He was kicking his shoes off and shit. But boy, they showed a different footage of him. He was getting it in out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, whoa. People. And they say he went 16. I don't even know. Like,
it's crazy.
He was putting in that work.
Now, I did watch. I wasn't even going to talk about this, like, because I think it's divisive, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's just weird and it could be detrimental, right? So I ain't want to serious it out, so I was going to shut up. But I did see the captain of the boat talking, which the boat just happens to be called the Harriet, right? But I saw the captain of this boat talking, and he was saying that the people that they had the problems with had been giving them problems throughout the years. Like, it wasn't the first time that they had an issue with these people or whatever. Like, the last time the people moved like one of their golf carts. So they always been having an issue, with these people. And the first dude that came out was like his first deckhand or whatever like that. His first mate. That's the dude that they jumped. It was the first mate. So as soon as the boat pulled in, it was the rest of the crew. And the captain pretty much was like, yo, that's his shitmates. Like, his shitmates gonna hold it down. You know what I mean? And I just wish we all had shitmates that held it down like that. Now, it is one thing that I want to say though, right? Because I wasn't gonna say much about it. But the dudes that was doing the skip when they was walking toward him, and they was doing like the skip round walk. And I want to tell, I got a lot of white friends, you know what I mean? I love y'all. Y'all my brothers. I want to tell y'all that, because after they did the skip walk, the people on the boat thought it was about to be a conversation. And I want to tell y'all that when y'all see that skip walk,
beware.
It's not going to be a conversation. Like, even if you start with talk, that skip walk is a universal war dance. It's going down. Like, it ain't a matter no more of if, it's a matter of when and how they going to get on your ass. That skip walk when people rubbing their hands and they hopping like that. It's never a good sign. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it many a times, and it never ended with non-conflict. It always was fisticuffs. You know what I mean? And y'all got to be ready. That's the one part that stood out. When I saw that skip walk, David, I knew it was going to be action.
It was a wrap, bro. It was a wrap. When they came down that walkway, bro, it was a done. I don't give a fuck what was happening. It was a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Because that skip walk, skip walk is like, yo, we just want to get there a little bit faster. But we don't want to be tired, but we want to get a little bit faster.
No talking, no nothing. Let's go. But I have to give them guys a little bit of love too, man, because I'm here to tell you, man, all those guys that was coming down that pier and everybody was coming there, man, at one point you got to say, hey, let me get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me make me some maneuvers and make some room and go. No, they stood there and took that punishment, bro. Like they took that punishment. Like I said again, I'm gonna say it one more time. They took it too.
It was an old-fashioned brawl. Like, it was a cool, no weapons except for the chair.
Yeah, the chair.
You know what I mean? It was an old-fashioned brawl, man. And I don't even think charges shouldn't be pressed. You know what I mean? Just let it go. I feel like they won't do that again to that crew or whatever. Then it was, I wasn't looking at it like the internet went crazy with the black-white thing. I talked to Teach the other day, we was on the phone, and I wasn't never looking at it like a black-white thing.
Yeah.
Bro, if that first mate was a white guy, they was going to
hold up for him too. They would have held up for him too.
Yeah, they was going to whip. No, but I mean the group of people that was on that boat, they was drunk. They was drunk. When you see that red back like that red back.
Been outside drinking for a long time.
That's that red suntan. I've been outside back. I seen it. I grew up in a neighborhood that, we had a mixed neighborhood. I seen that red back, and I seen many a red back throw some hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that man was, whoever that man was, they was going to take a hit that day. It ain't matter that he was black. And then the people that came off the boat was his crew. They was his shitmates. They was going to hold him down no matter what. And it wasn't just, the captain was like, it wasn't just black people on the pier. He was like, I had white guys on the pier. It was a whole bunch of people just wanting that. I think it just got it got really out of hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most definitely, man.
BMs will be BMs no matter what kind of ship you on.
Them deckhands is ready. Deckhands. A new meaning to deckhands. Like, that's the new meaning to deckhands.
I wanna say one more thing about the universal hat throw though, man. Like, I'm here to tell you right now, you got all these guys on the pier and they doing all this, man. And do you guys think the hat throw was knowing that I'm finna get my ass whooped for a few minutes? And I just gotta make a quick little scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I know for a few minutes I'm about to get this. I'm about to, might give it to me for a few minutes.
He held it down.
He did.
For the first couple, he held it down.
First couple.
Like he was in imminent danger. And he held it down. Like I don't know what the hat throw, man.
Like three or four of them coming at me, and I'm finna stop real quick and take my hat off and throw it in there. I don't think I'm thinking like that, bro. I'm thinking of how I'm finna protect myself.
I guess his hat was weighing him down. Let me take this shit off.
Boy,
man.
this was the back signal, man. That was the back signal.
It was definitely a call for help.
He threw that shit up so high, man.
Because when you look at it, it looked intentional. Like his thought process behind it, like there was a reason. He was just like.
Yeah.
And it's like they get traded. Like they get training on that shit.
Yeah, man. And if you guys smart, find that hat, put that shit in a goddamn glass case somewhere, man. That thing legendary, man. That is legendary.
That shit
he
was
said, they about to beat my hat off me.
They ain't about to hold it down and beat me up. Over my head.
Like they had that, man. Y'all see them pictures of Crocs?
Crocs.
Ooh,
they be the
Crocs look like crocodiles.
God,
crazy, man.
That's just
I got my first. That made me wonder. I got my first pair of Crocs recently, man. That made me wonder. Like, I hope my joints could be stable, in the time of need, man.
Yeah, bro. Don't wear them
to them riding up my leg.
Don't wear them to the right place, bro. Don't wear them to the wrong place,
man.
Right.
I'm too old, man, to ever get into a fight.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Too old,
me too.
Damon, David got me caught up one day, man. We told the story on the pod, man, but David almost had me fighting somebody.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, yo, we too old. I'm too old to be in this type of situation.
Man.
David got me.
It got heated. It got heated real quick, man.
Then it was like at a New Year's, like
New Year's, yeah.
The people I think were drugged up.
They was drugged, drunk, whatever. Yeah. And Ella wasn't having it.
It was just crazy.
Ella was there too?
Ella was there. Angeline was there.
Yeah.
We were out. Like, we had nice clothes on and everything. I'm like, yo, this, I'm like, yo, we gonna get locked up. It's like, you just, in the Navy, you just go with the worst case scenario. I'm like, yo, me and Damon, we gonna be out here fighting with our wives. We're gonna get locked up. A senior chief and the chief gonna be going back to our ship where we supposed to be leaders at, like, locked up a day late. Like, they gonna be, this ain't right.
Tish, why you bullshitting?
Wait, this was recent.
This was a couple, like, 3-4
years ago. But hey, look, it could have no shit been another brawl though, because it was so many different. If it would have went down, it would possibly brawl there because don't nobody really know each other. It's a New Year's party. Everybody is running around trying to have a good time. Boom, boom. It was so many people. If one blow would have been thrown, everybody been throwing hands all over that thing, man.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Just because the adrenaline up, they want to get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was close to getting there though.
Yeah.
It was very close.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Because then they had another dude. It was a couple, and then so you had Damon and Ella. Then they had a friend who he was gonna come. He had his strategy, but I saw him. I caught him.
It ain't happening like that, buddy.
You're not like, this ain't your fight. You know what I mean? But cooler heads prevailed. Luckily, we had Angeline there, who was the voice of reason.
Yeah,
she's like, come on, guys, let's just get out of here.
Yeah, they was definitely about to catch that 2-piece.
But we was hanging around, and we kept seeing them. You know what I mean? You know how it is. You just keep seeing the people.
Yeah.
So I got a question. What's your worst non-casualty related fear on a ship? Right. I don't know if you can answer this, Tish. Maybe you can. But mine, I'm gonna give mine. Mine is slipping on non-skid. No, I ain't even trying to throw shade. You know what I mean? Mine is slipping on non-skid though. That's mine, man. I just think that's the worst thing that happened to you. You know what I'm saying?
I think mine goes back to those ladder wheels, man. Slipping on those too though, because your ass finna catch it, bro. Your back, neck, all that stuff about to catch it. You know what I mean? When you slip down that ladder wheel, man, it's gonna be horrible, bro. We know people. You know what I'm saying? They hit fingers and all type of stuff, man.
People died, people died falling off ladder.
Yeah, and let me tell you another thing too, man. That's scary. I ain't gonna say it's like the non-casualty, because it kind of is a casualty. When somebody this ship is metal, right? All metal and shit. when you get your hands caught up in a hatch or a scuttle or in a doorway or something, somebody close it, man. Them fingers,
man.
We had that happen to one of our BM1s. We actually had somebody coming on board one morning, and they went through the hatch, and he had his hand in there. I don't know if you remember the Damo, the boats, man. He freaking crushed his fingers, man, in the door. Dang. Broke 2 or 3 of his fingers.
That scuttle, that knife edge too. That knife edge, the knife edge is a big one, bro. On a round scuttle, that knife edge is crazy, bro. Getting caught up in that.
And those happen for real because those latches slip. I know we talking foreign to you, Tish, but those latches slip sometimes.
The latches in the corner. Yeah,
that's what they happen frequently.
I didn't like the knee knockers. Those things caught me so many times.
Yeah.
I think I got bad knees right now because of them.
Yeah, you gotta lift your knees up.
It's like if you don't hit it, and then you scuff them boots if you don't lift it up high enough.
Yeah, Damo, how about that 03 level, man? That 03 level on that carrier, man. That big old loop, them knee knockers.
Yo, I haven't walked the 03 level by myself yet, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the 03 level on the carrier, man, you get lost on that thing.
Real.
That's they don't even gotta do what is it you gotta do on your first 72 hours, Damon? Like to get off the ship. What's the name of it? Where they blindfold you?
Oh yeah, you gotta do the
egress training, right? So like you don't even. They shouldn't even do egress on the carrier. They should just throw you up on the O3 and be like, "Hey, make it back to the hangar, man."
And that's probably I'm gonna tell you, they probably don't do the whole. They probably just do like a little bit, like right around your area or something, right in your like your division area or whatever. They probably just walk you around there a little bit. I'm sure they don't do the whole carrier. Like around.
Yeah, that was the only egress I've ever done was like from the workspace.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how you get off the ship from the workspace.
Yeah.
But they on the carrier, they should just throw you up on a O3, yo. That shit is like a maze, yo.
Yeah.
And then I be with my junior sellers. They got that shit mastered. You know what I mean? Like I'm like,
they know everything quickly too.
They got that shit.
I stayed in the carrier 2 years, and I still didn't know half what shit was that.
but slipping on that non-skid, man, is a fear of mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I didn't even like to PT on it. I hate PTing on the ship on the non-skid. Like it just hurts. Everything hurts.
Yeah, like why the hell we PTing?
Yeah, and that bosun locker up there. On that bosun locker up way up there, big ass space up there, man. And I remember going through the season, they had me PTing up there, man. I don't do that on the carriers this year, guys. Don't have them guys PTing up there in that bosun locker, man.
Yeah, man. Can't be PTing on no damn non-skid, man.
Right.
I was watching a basketball player, the games, and they playing ball on non-skid.
Non-skid,
It's a big difference between hardwood and fucking non-skid.
Yeah.
Your sneakers are done after one game, one tournament. Your sneakers fucking, they gonna look like my man Crocs.
Rolled up his knees on his damn knees and shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got a quick random question, man. Do SEALs have an accent? Like, is it like a Navy SEAL accent? Do they all come from the same like small town in West Virginia? Or is it just me? Like, is it just me? Like, is every SEAL from the same place?
Hey, that's all Damo Navy SEALs. That's all Damo, man. That's that cool.
I don't want no smoke with y'all, man. I just think y'all all come from the same small town. Like, y'all all got the same country accent. Like every single. I never heard a SEAL with like an LA accent. You know what I mean? Like, then we caught man lying. You know, like I never heard like a SEAL ever say, homie, like I never heard.
I know, right?
Never heard a SEAL with a New York accent, like a Philly accent. It's just like this down south Bama accent,
country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Then I noticed on another random. I noticed on I've been looking at like people and their temperament, and I'm like, yo, the worst temperament you see is the person that just got to a ship, right? They trying to establish relationships. They walk around the ship. They like trying to make friends. The easiest going temperament you normally see, right? Well, the second is like the person that's about to leave. You know what I mean? Like they just look so free, man. Yeah, I get off this bitch in like 3 months, man. So it is what it is. Like the later it get, they be like, man, that ain't my problem. That ain't gonna be my problem. You know what I mean? But the people with the easier temperaments, even than them, is Master Chiefs, man. Master Chiefs be floating through the damn shit, man. I don't even think they feet touch the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, to know that you don't gotta take another, like, you don't gotta worry about another board. You never had to take a test in the last couple of years. No boards. Nobody telling you what you need to get somewhere. Oh yeah, you gotta get this. Them Master Chiefs be floating, bro.
Right.
I had a Master Chief correct me the other day because I was on the mess decks. I had my ball cap on. It was a mistake. It was like an oversight. And the way he did it, he's like, "You seen your ball cap." You know what I mean? And he just kept going.
He kept going.
He just kept going. Like, I wanted to stop and be like, "Hey, bro, like my bad. Like this ain't normal for me."
Conversation.
He was gone. He was like 30 frames. Like I'm like, how he get there so fast? And he just going through the P-way, just correcting people. Hey, petty officer, fix your collar. Senior, your ball cap.
Yeah, man.
Like, he was on a move.
Bro, that sounds so smooth, man. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait, bro.
Yo, Master Chief, they don't got no worries. They speak.
Right.
It's just a cool road. Like, hey. Like all the officers respect them.
Yeah. They like the cool kids.
Yeah, full birds be looking at them like, "Hey, Master Chief, like, what you think? It's a good idea." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It looks good. It looks good.
Like, it's crazy. I ain't never seen that like this, man.
That's funny. I mean? That's funny, but so true though, man. So true. Yeah. Hey, anytime, man, like, I never seen like maybe every now and then, man, but you don't see too many just like pissed off Master Chiefs. Especially if they're not CMCs. If they like a rated Master Chief, bro, they smooth as hell, man. Like everyone I know, like real smooth. Like, let me talk to you for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like real smooth, man. It's like, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Master
and
Chief,
they always drive big cars.
Yeah, they own species, man.
They try them big old cars. They like
that,
super
like,
fly.
Ain't in no rush.
Nope.
Ain't in no you can't
spot.
Yeah, you ain't about to get nothing off. They ain't playing nice. You ain't about to get nothing off. I'm watching like different. It's one Master Chief. He always let like, go ahead. You working. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, you got it. You work. And it's another Master Chief that's you, David. You let me. Yeah,
go ahead, man. I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. Like I be trying to be the go ahead dude, right? And I can't get a go ahead off on this Master Chief. Like he always out. He out go ahead. You know, be like, "Yo, you good, Master Chief?" Be like, "No, go ahead. You work."
Oh man, that's funny.
You know what I mean? Like, and then it's another Master Chief. You can't, if it's bullshit, he's saying it. Like, he don't care, man. He like, "Hey, look, we ain't about to have no computers. The printers now, my job is pretty much computer based. I'm out of here about 10:30. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Can't nobody say that to him. Like
who's gonna say something?
He right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy, yo. So hey, he's like, again, Damon, congrats again, man. And like, I look forward to seeing you put that joint on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We ain't gonna get into the conversation about it yet, but man, this process is crazy. But will that be another topic when it happens or whatever? We'll talk about it. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's catch up a little bit, man. What's going on? What you got?
You got a topic, David. Why we gotta go through this, man? You gonna make me edit? Like you gonna have me edit? Like, hey, for the listeners, I'm not editing that. Like that random weird pause was the random weird pause that I would normally edit out, but I edited that, man. You got a topic. You added it in this space. We on your topic, dog.
He still can't find it.
Hey,
he gonna be like, "Go ahead."
And I don't understand it. Like I would bring it up, but I would like transition to it, but I don't understand what it
no, like that.
Like, if you watching it, you can see how confused David looked. But if you listen to it, you won't know. Like right now, he just looking.
I'm still looking.
He got his mug in his hand.
He don't remember.
He got a Cheeseman's t-shirt on.
I'm still looking at this. It's not on me.
It say Damon in parentheses. It's your name. It say what price? I don't know what this means. So for the listener.
Hold on, bro.
He tried to save it.
Hold up, bro. But see, I'm at the bottom of the list, though. What list y'all looking at?
No, you're not at the bottom.
Like
you at the bottom. You at the bottom of that segment. Portion.
He tried to.
You at the bottom of that portion. We gonna
catch up a little bit. We gonna catch up. You said what price you willing to make for leadership?
Yeah, but I got a topic ahead of that one though.
For leadership,
right?
Nah, you don't. No, my last little quick topic. Was about
come on, man.
Come on.
Hey, listeners, how y'all doing?
Listeners, what's good, man? So Look, let me give you guys I'm an insight because you guys they got me looking crazy right now. But let me tell you this. So early this morning, I download this shit off a cloud into my computer, so I have it up on my screen, right? So if you made an edit to it, I may not have. See, I don't have that edit right there because I already downloaded.
You added that. That's
I didn't add it right there though.
Yes, you did, because I was wondering why you added it there.
Bro, I added it in freaking Weekly Catch Up. I didn't add it there. I'm looking at it right now on my screen. I should take a picture of it and show it to you. Okay, it's all good. All right, so I'm going to show it to you afterwards.
Hey, for the listeners, that was a layer peel back. You know,
yeah.
So we keep it.
So you guys know a little bit more what we be doing when we plan our topics and things like this. But okay, all right. So my question to you guys is, man, what price you're willing to make for leadership, right? And what I mean by that is, what are you going to, if you giving up something, is you giving up time for leadership? Or are you giving up the fact that you want to be great? You want your division to be competitive? You want to be what? But what price you are making as that leader to make sure that, because leadership is a price, believe it or not. I mean, if you plan on, I'm going to give you guys my scenario then. Right? When I say leadership is a price, I mean, like, if you having a division, right, and you don't have, like, your guys are not up to speed, you know what I mean? So now you got to put yourself in that position to make sure your division is good to go. That can be from training. That can be from making sure they're where they need to be, or whatever the case may be. But how much of that price you're going to pay to make sure everything's squared away and good to go? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I'm going to throw this off to you, Damo, to go first.
Yo, I got these Crocs on my feet right now, man. Right? And I never know how much this plastic at your feet sweating, man. I just got out the shower. My feet are sweating. For the listeners. The price that I'm willing to pay for leadership. So you mean like you talk about making rank, or just to be a good leader?
Be a good leader.
I sacrifice time. I say, that's what you talk about, right?
Yeah.
I definitely sacrifice my time. Like, I feel like I need to be there before everybody. I feel like I need to be there through everybody being there, which means like lunch hours. Like, I don't be at lunch too long. I don't be in a mess too much. You know what I'm saying, Damon? You know that. You know what I mean? Why you laughing, man? I ain't even trying to be smooth, man. Like, I'm trying to be serious, man. I don't do too much of that lollygagging. And then after work, I'm there. And my people be trying to stay with me, my first class. I like that. But I feel like the killing hours for us, or whatever, are the critical hours for us, like leaders, is when nobody else is around. That's when we really could get off.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that sacrifice is time. It was easier for me before I got married and had kids. Before I got married and Angeline got pregnant and stuff like that. It was a lot easier because I didn't have anything to worry about. Now that I have a life and a family, I don't want to be good at that. It's different. But yeah, it's time. That's my sacrifice. My sacrifice is time. And that's also for technical expertise, man. Like, yo, I'm up reading instructions. I'm doing all that shit. I'm reading instructions. It's crazy. Like, I might text like an officer like a screenshot. I know sometimes they probably be like, yo, senior is crazy as hell. You know what I mean? But I might text an officer like a highlighted screenshot from something I found based off a conversation we were having and stuff like that. So yeah, the price I pay, I sacrifice a lot of my time, man. And it's hurt me on a personal level a little bit more. Like, even with like the pizza business that me and Wes had going. I honestly, I just didn't have enough time between the pod work to devote to it. And a lot of people don't put like that much time into the work job. Like, a lot of people don't, like, they showing up, you know what I mean? And so I think it's sacrifice the time.
Yeah. And I think a lot of leaders, go ahead, Tish, you got anything?
Oh yeah, I was going to say exactly the same is time. And I think that's why I'm divorced now. Yeah. It's because at the time I was trying to make chief. And so I was putting a lot of time into trying to be competitive and trying to going underway, volunteering to go underway and stuff like that. And even when I knew we were struggling, I was like, but I gotta stay competitive. So I just kept, I just kept doing my thing. And then after I made chief, it was even more time that I had to put in. And exactly like you said, like you get things done when nobody's around. So I would be there late after everybody. I would push everybody out the door, including the officers, pushing all them out the door because they asked me 1,000 questions so that I can actually get some stuff done. So, and I'm not really a morning person. So coming in early is like a rarity for me. Yeah. I'd rather just stay late instead of coming in early. And then I got to get the kids together and everything for school in the morning. So I just take my laptop home. So I would get off and go home, but still be working. So on the weekends and, trying to get stuff knocked out, trying to create trackers and have everything ready for the next week. So that time. And now I got a whole lot of time.
That's good. That's good. All over. And I'm gonna tell you, man, that goes back to having a good balance though with that time. Because most of the people gonna say time. You know what I mean? That's what you can give for free, right? It's time, right? Yeah. So, but what I was getting at also was the fact that because everybody most people gonna say time, like I said, but if you can't give that time, right? If you can't give that time, think about the shit you losing if you don't give that time, right? Nobody's gonna be prepared. Nobody's gonna be learn shit. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff that goes down if you cannot give that time, right? Think about the family side of it. We were talking about the Navy side of it. You can't give that time to your family. Stuff start to go to the wayside too, right? Yeah. So those are all sacrifices where I'm getting at that we make all the time when it comes to sailors and it comes to our families, man. All the time we make those sacrifices. So, yeah, man. That's just one of my questions I want to get into, man. I'm glad you guys finally caught up with it, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it just was a bad
question.
Poorly worded.
Poorly worded. Sorry, guys.
Like Tisha, I don't even think even after you explained it, like Tisha's like, I'm gonna let Damo go.
Yeah, but tell Tisha don't pay for that. She don't pay for that. That look you gave Tisha, gonna pay for that later. That look you just gave.
Tisha got that emerald on, man. You can't tell nobody that when they rocking that emerald, man. That emerald.
Tisha was punting that thing. She punted it.
I did.
I thought you was talking about the hidden videos that's in her phone. What the hell is Tisha doing out there? Hey, so I used my ratings Facebook group, right, for help last week. Right?
Oh, I can't wait to hear about this.
Hey, man, I wish that I could have a better story than this, but honestly, it's a part on my ship that's just, in my opinion, it's an eyesore for me. It's like a latch on these power panels, and it's called a knurled knob or whatever, right? It's a latch on these power panels that is just missing. You know, Damon, like the power panels, the circuit boards or whatever, and they got the screw-in like latches or whatever, the knobs, and we got a lot of them missing on my ship. Like some panels got all three missing. Like it's crazy. So I'm like, all right, well, let me order them. Somebody like, hey, man, this shit. We tried to order these last year. It was a hassle. We tried to order them again. Boom, boom. It's always been a hassle. So then my electro was looking for them, and it was a hassle. You know what I mean? So I got from like 4 different points that is just hard to order. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to get better with like, if like, for instance, like if my electro say something and I see him actively doing it, I'm trying to get better with, okay, if I see him doing it, I don't have to like do it too. Like, it's cool. Like I trust my electro. Like he's good. Like he know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So for me internally, like it don't got nothing to do with him because I totally trust him. But for me internally, I'm just trying to get better. Like, all right, let me not look. So I told electro, I was like, hey, I'm gonna just hit the Facebook group up. You know what I'm saying? So I hit up the Facebook group, and when I hit up the Facebook group, I figured that these people would be not helpful. Hey, whenever Damon be texting me when we reply, it be messing my head up. You know what I'm saying? Like, got me so confused. Like, he got me crazy, yo. Whenever y'all see me drift like that, it's because Damon been texting me. You know, what's going on? You know what I mean? But and my phone is off when we pod, so it's like it be coming up on the computer, y'all. Just to put that out there. But I think what was you proving a point in his text about the note?
Yeah.
That's way too in depth for right now when I try to explain this story. So Electro is looking for you crazy, man. Electro is looking for the part. So I hit up Facebook. I'm like, all right, let me hit this EM group up right now. Damon, and I know Tish at this point too probably know. It's hard for me to do that. Like, that's not easy. It takes a lot out of me to be like, let me go. I know like some of my old sellers are there, some or whatever. It takes a lot out of me to like, even though we do this podcast thing and we put videos on TikTok and all that, it takes a lot out of me to like expose myself to a group of these electricians that 9 times out of 10 in these groups, they be like, dumbass, it's right here. Here's the part number. Like all this, crap, right? So I throw the question out, right? And my logic is, man, I had like 6 different people on the ship look for this part. So I'm not even about to like waste my time. Let me just ask my group of brother electricians, they can help me out. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here for. So, people was responding serious. The first person, it was like a laughing emoji, right? The first person. But the first person that put a laughing emoji up was the old senior chief that was at the ship before me, right? So I understood his laughing emoji. I'm like, yo, he probably hit the laughing emoji because he knows what I'm going through. Yeah, he know what I'm going through. Yeah. But then like other people started doing it, and I'm like, why the fuck they hitting it? You know what I mean? Like why they hitting it? Like, what's so funny about this? Like, let me holler at you. Yeah,
like, what's funny?
Let me holler at you, And then my question was, it was like, hey, I'm having trouble finding a part. If you know anything, hit me up. If you need any more information, send me a message. Right. And that's my way to alleviate dealing with people that's trying to troll or whatever. So somebody posted, they was like, so the person was like, so you need help finding a part. And if we know about the part, we need to hit you up so we could send you a message for info. I deleted the post. I said, fuck this dude. I ain't about to. I deleted the post. I'm like, you about to start criticizing everybody else. And it seemed like other people was having the same issue. People like, I need it too. When you get the email sent to me, I deleted the post, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dealing with like you trying to scrutinize. Because I was going to tell a dude like, hey, look, like, yeah, like, we could have a conversation about it. I could give
That's
you my
what
number.
It was for.
It was
for a conversation.
Face to face.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like we could talk. We could have a real because right now you're criticizing the way that I worded a question. I'm coming here. It's hard enough that I chose to come here because I didn't want to because of people like you. You didn't tell me nothing about the part. You know what I mean? You about to ask me how I worded this? Yeah, I need a DM. I'm not about to say the size of this shit in this message group or nothing like that. So to this day, I don't know if this dude got information or not. I guess he just is an English major. I guess he was an English major. You know what I'm saying? But whoever you are though, come find me. I could give you as much information as you want. You know what I mean? Like,
are these hands?
I be like, Damo, throw the hat up.
Yeah, I ain't got no smoke with you, man. But we can talk about it if you want to talk grammar and all that. We could definitely have a conversation. But yeah, so that was my experience with that. That definitely was my experience.
That happens all the time. I saw in the admin, I'm still on the admin Facebook group, and somebody asked a question and they got lit up because the answer is in a manual somewhere.
Yeah.
And they got, I think the CO had a question that he or she could easily look up. Man, they lit them up.
Yeah.
I was like, ain't no way I'm asking a question.
Yeah. You know what on our little same thing, our little rating app, same way. Motherfuckers be getting their ass toe up. I don't never go on there, right? But if I do go on there, I'll find out who's the go-to person on there, and I may DM them or some shit like that, right?
Right. Or I do a search for keywords to see if somebody asked a question already.
Oh, they be getting lit up on there, man.
Yeah.
And my thing is,
they corny for that too. Y'all wrong for that.
Yeah,
they are
wrong. If I ask a question, I have to end that shit with like, hey, because I don't want to look through 300 pages. You know what I mean? You gotta end it with that. I'm asking this question because I don't want to look through these freaking 300 fucking pages right now. So if somebody know it, let me know. Shit.
But and the people that start giving you shit, they never had any intention to help. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even know.
Was going to help you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever got that come on, Senior Chief?
I try not to say my rank. My rank.
Okay,
Some people are like finished they message with their rank. I try not to say my rank on that thing. I like to stay. So, somebody who responded was from my ship. Electrician from my ship. And the part that they sent me, I looked it up. It was the wrong shit, man. I'm like, you look real smart on Facebook, man, but this is wrong. You know what I mean? Come on, at me, man. Come down to the shop.
I'm right off the hangar bay, man. Come holler at me.
and it's like, yo, don't play with me like that either. Like, yo, I know how to order parts. Don't play with me like this thing is just like we on the same ship. And the part that's missing, you've seen this shit around the ship, and you know it's missing, and you ain't doing nothing about it.
Tried to do
Come on, at me, bro. Like, where you at? You know what I mean? Come find me. You know?
Oh my God,
I'm gonna leave. You know, I'm gonna leave. Okay.
He said he got the answers.
Another thing I noticed, real quick. I'm gonna have to start sharing. I don't know, Damon. I guess I need to ask you for advice or your insight on this. I'm getting older, right? So I'm getting older. You know what I mean? And I feel like I gotta shave every day.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I shave every day, bro. Have to,
Your
man.
face don't be sore. You don't be having like.
But see, I don't use like razor. I use my edges though. I can't use razors and shit, man. My face be all jacked up. So I always use my edges to shave with. So yeah, man, every freaking morning, bro. Every morning. Yeah.
Yeah, my shit be gone. But I had to apologize to my division the other day because I was coming off a duty day. I'm like, yo, I gotta lead the ship. I thought I had, a razor on board or whatever. I was like, yo, I gotta lead the ship, y'all. I gotta shave. I'm not shaving, y'all. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because best believe I'm correcting people when they ain't shaving. So,
yeah.
I mean, I need to make sure I'm on my shit. I had to tell them, I'm like, hey, y'all, like, I'm unshaven. Soon as quarter's over, I'm getting off the ship and I'm going to go shave. I had to go do other stuff too. I had to go do some barracks inspections.
Yeah.
As well. And I gotta talk about that too, I guess, in a minute. But yeah, so I guess I need to shave every day now.
Yeah, man.
Actually, I'm right on to the barracks inspection. I did my first round of room inspection.
Uh-oh.
So let me ask y'all a question. If you walk into a room, right? It was some failures too, right? And for the crazy, so if you don't have a lock on your locker, right? Because they share rooms. If you don't have a lock on your locker, it's an automatic fail, right? Honestly, that's like the only real reason I'm failing people. You know what I mean? Unless your room is like horrible. You know what I mean? So some of the guidance we got was like, hey, like people live here, like don't go too crazy on them. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like people live here. You know what I mean? But you know how many rooms I had to fail because of the lockers?
Most of them.
About 8 rooms.
Yeah.
Because of lockers. I did 21.
How many you
I did 21 rooms.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
I felt like 8 because of locks.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy.
Same thing on
You know
ships,
what I mean?
though, right? Same thing. You go down to them damn birds inspections and somebody ain't locked their locker or whatever, you got to call them up. But let me tell you why I'm a firm believer, and that's why we should be filling them, though. You know what I mean? Because somebody be missing something. First thing they go, well, I'm missing this. Well, your shit locked? No. That's why you fucking missing it.
Right.
If you walk in a room and you see a bag over a smoke detector, what you think? What's your thoughts? I want to hear what Teach got to say.
A bag over a smoke detector?
Yeah.
Somebody smoking.
Yeah, somebody doing something. They vaping.
And that was in the barracks?
Yeah, we caught one of those too, man. Like, it's like, why y'all gotta make me be a cop? Like, I'm not trying to be no cop.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like walk in your barracks, see that your joint cool, and roll out and help you out when you leave.
I tell you what, man. Hey, that whoever had that bag over that smoke detector, I'm gonna be real with you, man. It's time for you to go back to the ship.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a smoke deck somewhere that you could have smoked. Your ass is lazy anyway. You need to take your ass out there back to the ship and you can smoke on the flight deck somewhere. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy, man. That's crazy. You went out your way. You went out your way to put that bag on there. You know what I mean? Like,
just to keep from going outside.
Yeah. And put some smelly goods in your rooms, y'all. Like put some, Airwick. What is it? Glade or whatever. Is that Glade? Is that they call it Glade? Don't put some of that stuff in y'all rooms, man. You know what I mean? If you're not washing your sheets, at least monthly. You know what I mean? And it should be more than monthly, but I'm coming into some, and I ain't even trying to diss nobody. Like for real, y'all put some stuff in y'all rooms, man.
Yeah, man. You know somebody coming in and inspect you, right? You know somebody coming in here, man.
Yeah.
And we in a hip hop. We talking about hip hop. You know what I mean? We can bring in the brat. You know what I'm saying? Funkify. You know what I mean?
I was wondering where he was going. I'm like,
where you going with that?
Evil mad scientists, man.
Right.
Some of these young sailors, they young single sailors, man.
Yeah.
And some of these young ladies that's going in the bird, they pretty young women. You know what I mean? Like you got these young women going in your room and you presenting yourself like this, man. You know what I mean? And but for the most part, the rooms were good, but, just add some smell goods. So I felt exposed because one of my first classes inspected my room this week.
Oh.
And he felt weird about it, you know.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, we supposed to inspect the RA rooms. So he come back to the ship. He like, hey, senior, I inspected your room. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, why would you even, I'm like, why would you even inspect my room, man? Like, what's up?
You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I don't think so, man. You know what I think? I think either the building manager or somebody there should be inspecting the RA room, man. I don't think
so. That was who I thought inspected our rooms was the building manager.
Yeah.
But they probably just on some like, who if it get inspected, they get inspected, and then we just take the credit for it. But I thought, because the building manager said, hey, I got to inspect rooms monthly. She's like, and normally I just inspect y'all's. But my own first class inspected my room, like an EM1, like who worked directly, So, but then I was like, after I got over him inspecting, he actually listened to the pod. What up, man? He actually listens to the pod, which is crazy. They've been listening to the pod before I got there, so. But I'm like, and that's weird to me too. But we get into that later. But I'm like, well, what was up with it though? He was like, no, it was straight.
You want to know. You want to know. Like, what's up?
Hey, listen, for the young sailors out there in barracks that's struggling to hold your shit together, you wonder, my shit is great. Like, it's good. He's like, it even smelled good when I walk. I got plugins. Like, yo.
Oh yeah.
Nobody. I'm putting military folds in my bed. Like, I don't want no smoke with the nobody. Like, you gonna come, and I like it to look like I'm not even there. So it's the minimum stuff out. Ain't nothing really out. Like, dudes be having a whole life spread out.
Yeah.
Yo, a lot of dudes got stuffed animals too. A lot of dudes got stuffed animals.
Them youngsters, man. Youngsters. What's up, youngsters? What's up, youngsters? Y'all with these little animals and shit, bro. What's going on?
And your thing is your thing. So I ain't getting off on them, but it's an observation. A lot of dudes got out. And then I saw like a 50 rack of stuffed animals, like a whole zoo.
Yeah.
On the side of somebody's bed. Wow.
Like we ain't tripping though. We ain't tripping. It's 2023. We ain't tripping, guys.
No hate, no shade. I just was surprised. I'm like, damn.
Right.
And then I had a room where one of the roommates had complained about the other roommate, but I had never been in a room. Like, they said the other person was dirty. I talked about it on our pod. When I went in a room, the person that was complaining was the one that shit wasn't together. Like, the other person stuff was pristine. I'm like, damn, that's the person that's causing so much trouble.
Imagine that.
Stuff pristine. Wow. You must see the world through a different lens.
Imagine that.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
I did a barracks inspection. No, it wasn't a barracks inspection that I did, but somebody else did one, and she had a cat. Like shit, 2 cats living up in the barracks. Yeah. She also had like cooking stuff like air fryers and everything.
I'll be honest with you, man. That's no fucks given right there, man. You bring in some cats in there and you getting inspected, you don't care at all.
You don't care.
Like, where you gonna live at? Like, after they kick you out these barracks, where you living at? Do you understand where you going after that, man? Like, I don't get it.
On the Coronado.
It's a leader cow. Somebody go get that reference. Yeah, but you don't think they can have. You don't think they should have pets in the barracks?
No. They can't. You saw what the rooms look like. They can't. Half of them can't even take care of their rooms.
Or themselves.
No shade to the sellers who rooms I check, y'all. No shade, man.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. A little shade, guys.
It's a responsibility.
Just get the soaps come out your sink, man. Get the soaps come out your sink. No shade. No shade.
Having a pet is a responsibility. Yeah. A lot of it. So
go underway. Leave
right.
A couple.
You'll leave a cat in the barracks.
Leave a couple bowls. What's the name of the food? Kibbles and bits. Leave a couple kibbles and bits out there for the. Yeah, we're going underway for about 9 days. Yo.
Right,
and that's another thing.
They will probably do that.
Yeah, that's a part of it too, man. Like, how they gonna eat? Like, I guess if you on shore duty, you make them be.
You just take it back to home. Take it to your family member.
Yeah, man.
But they wouldn't do that though.
No.
Some people need emotional support.
Not. Yeah.
Some people need emotional support animals though.
Yeah,
that's why that CEO had brought that goat on.
Whoa.
Yeah,
we had talked about that.
Yeah, and it's crazy seeing people who actually like knew, like as it lived in TikTok, it's people like, oh yeah, I was there. I served with this person.
Yeah.
A lot of people was devastated from that, man. A lot of people devastated.
He had that fresh goat. He got fresh fired too.
Yeah, fresh shit. No. Tish ain't been with us for the last couple weeks, man.
Yeah.
Couple weeks. And I know you went on vacation, and I know you had a good time on vacation, and you got these files that's secret and hidden. So I don't want to get too deep into your vacation story. But after you came off vacation, you did something else.
Yeah. So I went to Georgia and chilled there with my kids because they're going to live with their dad. So we were just like chilling. I think I was so tired, honestly, from the vacation. I had all that, like, I wanted to take them to Six Flags. I wanted to take them to the zoo, the aquarium, because like they got one of those little drive-through zoos where the animals come up to you. I was going to take my mom. Really, I wanted to take my mom. I was going to take the kids too. I wanted my mom to come because I saw all those videos where people were freaking out when the animals be coming in the car. And so I like doing stuff to torture my mom. So I was planning to do that. But I was so tired from the vacation. And then it's getting closer to that last paycheck. And I ain't had that DD214 yet. I was like, I'm gonna have to slow down. At
the drive-through zoo, right? What's the attraction? Are you the attraction, or is the animal the attraction?
It's the animal.
I feel like it's us. We the ones behind the glass. We was behind the glass.
The type that I'm trying to go to, I think, we would have been more because they give you the food so you can feed it, and then the animal be in there. Because I saw a video on TikTok where this Black family was in the car, and they had this older lady. They had kids, and like it looked like it was like 3 generations in the car, and like. I think it was like an ostrich maybe and a camel, but they all in there trying to get the food. The grandma screaming, the kid throwing up, which makes the mama throw up. Like it was crazy. I was like, oh, I'm trying to take my mama there. I don't know why.
Sounds pretty good though, man. But I saw a couple of those videos too. I don't know if I've been feeling all that, man. Big ass giraffes and all type of shit just come right in your lap and reach over there. That shit big as hell, man. I don't know. That thing head probably big as my damn body, man. Like, nah, that's too much.
What if you have a car problem or something? What happens? Is it like a contingency in play? Do they go over that?
Like, hey, you with the wow?
Do they say that? Do they say what happened? Like if something happened to your car, like yo, this giraffe, you got to put your neck up. You got to lift this car up so I can change the tire.
Right? Imagine having one of them roll up the windows when you got to roll it up with your hand.
Yeah, you gotta hurry up. Somebody's shit gonna get smashed. Your snout, somebody's snout gonna get this elephant truck about to get smashed in my shit. I'm out of here. Hey, but I want to give you flowers, Tish. And I gave them to you. I think I gave them to you when we talked personally, but I want to give them to you in a pod because I think you're doing one of the coolest things that I ever heard of, ever. I was talking to my mom about this yesterday, actually, and you letting your sons live with their dad. You know what I mean? And I know we got a military podcast and, you know, it's not really based. I don't even know how much we talked about military. Well, we've been talking about some military stuff, and we got some crazy, hey, for the listeners, we about to get into some real serious military stuff in a second, right? But I got to give you your flowers, and I got to tell you, that's one of the best things that I've ever seen a mom do, is to say, y'all hit this age, and it's about time y'all live with y'all dad and get whatever y'all need from y'all dad, because y'all been with me long enough. You know, for whatever other ideology or reasons that you're doing it, I know that's one of them there too.
Right.
And I just think you deserve all the flowers in the world for that. That's dope as hell. You know what I mean?
Thank you. You know, when he first asked me if he could take him, because originally they were supposed to go with him for the summer while I transitioned into retirement and then come back. And then he asked if he could keep him. And I was like, I really did not have a good reason to say no. Like, other than like for selfish reasons, because I want him with me, but I really didn't have a good reason, you know, to say no. And he made a whole lot of sense. Like, they're 11 and 14. They're going into middle school and high school. Like, things about to change. And they already are. It's stuff that he has already called me that he's dealing with. And I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, man.
Because my son got his own room now. Both of them have their own room. And then their dad walked in. Some stuff was going on.
Yeah, man. 14.
Making videos that can't nobody see.
Yeah. Right. He already got lost files.
He got hidden files, man.
Right. He walked in, and that was like day 1 or 2. I feel like it was like day 2 maybe. And he's sending me text messages, and I'm like,
Yeah, man.
Hey, you got it. You got it. So things like that, it's like, I think he's better equipped to handle that because he's a man, and I don't know how to answer those questions, and then trying to like have those conversations, and I want them to remain a baby for the rest of their life. And so he's going to teach them how to be a man. And so they're excited. They're really excited about
it. That's like a movie, How to Be a Man. But hey, Damo, you was giving shots out to Tish, man. Hey, got to get shots out to Pops too, man, for stepping up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stepping up and wanting to do that, man. That's big too.
Right.
Knowing you got two boys and you want to be part of, them growing up and the decisions they make in life kind of comes from a foundation, right? At the end of the day, it all comes from a foundation. So, big shots out to him too, man. And big shots out to both of you guys. Cause man, look at that communication right there too, though. Like people don't understand that communication piece is crazy right there, man.
Yeah.
I can see, and for you to be like saying yes to that, man, that had to be so, like damn, man. Cause I got a daughter, man, that stays in Arkansas. And I don't even want to get started on, trying to get her and see all this type of stuff. So yeah, man, that's crazy. She grown now, but still at the time, man, trying to get her, and it was like a whole big deal, man, trying to do that. So
yeah. I think because of the line of work that I'm in and because of my upbringing, that's why it makes it so second nature and natural for me, because I see working in legal assistance, people coming in there with the custody issues and, the letters that come in from the baby mamas and, all of that stuff coming into the command complaining. And I just never, ever wanted that. And the way my mom raised us is, that's their dad.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened, that's their dad. And I think if I tried to keep him away, she would probably go in on me for real. She don't play.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
You got it.
Yeah, go ahead, Damo.
You got a good 13 to 16 years with a narrative when you're young, right? And I can't speak to everybody, but I can speak to young black men or whatever, right? Because I was a young black man. But we grew up in these neighborhoods, and a lot of us, where I grew up, a lot of us didn't have our fathers, the narrative, so it was a narrative you grow up with or whatever. Shout out to my dad who wasn't with my mom, but he was around. But you just grow up with this narrative, and to be able to have a different narrative where it's like, yo, you don't hate your pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your mom ain't tell you all this bullshit about your pops and put this stuff in your head, or you saw her fight with him, because we be young boys and we see our moms fight with our dads, and they having a grown adult fight where both parties are at fault for some reason. But since you living with moms, you probably gonna take mom's side.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And so for them young boys to be able to have another narrative is just crazy essential and super dope, man. And it's gonna be better for them growing up because it's weight that they never gonna have to shed. So I just think that's dope.
Yeah, I got a question for you though, Tish. Since I had this issue, this issue with my oldest daughter in Arkansas, did you give your kids an option? Did they have a choice, or did they say, "Yeah, I want to do it" or not do it, or it was anything like that?
So me and him talked about it, and we agreed to do it, and then we talked to them and told them about it, give them time to wrap their heads around it. But we still, even though the choice is already made, we still wanted to hear their thoughts.
Yeah.
And kind of how do you feel about it? Are you cool with it? So it's kind of we did give them an option, but not really. The decision was already kind of made. But if at any point, if they were just nah, I'm not feeling it, I don't want to go, then we would have had a conversation to kind of figure out where do we go from there. So, and then we told him once y'all get over there, because he wanted them until they graduate high school. I was like, let's just take 2 years at a time, one duty station at a time. So let's just do a 2-year rotation. But ultimately, I want them to have stability too. I don't want them to keep moving around. So if they go over there and it's working out after 2 years and everything is good, then they stay over there. But they have options. The only thing I don't want is for them to separate. Want to go with me and want to be with him. I don't really want that.
What's your oldest son name?
Josh.
When Josh meet Marquita, that 2 year shit is a wrap.
Listen.
with Josh running to Marquita, that 2 year shit is a wrap.
Very possible.
And they've been out here in Cali and they going to South Carolina. Yeah. So they look different. They talk different.
Yeah, Southern
hospitality. Kid on the block.
Yeah,
and then my oldest, he
at that age.
He real cute. He cute. He and then he feeling himself lately. I saw a picture in his phone. He's taking pictures and like he flexing in the mirror, and I'm like, oh God. So I already know it's about to be a wrap. It's somebody about to take my baby.
Yeah, man. I say the same thing, man. My son,
girls, he ain't ready.
My youngest the same way, man. He got his little pictures in his phone, man. And he had this, I don't know if I talked about this about, but he had this little picture there, man, where he was like, he said from then to now. And he had a then, he was like a little baby, right? And then it went to now, man. He got this little look on his face, little bit of tip of his tongue got inside of his mouth. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on right here?
Let him know. Yo, I'm out
and
here.
then people was hitting him up like, oh, you so sexy. You chocolate and all. I'm like, oh my God. Boy, the internet is out of control, man.
I got emotion.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they are coming up different than we did because of the internet. So I'm scared for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Crazy.
I'm scared. It's crazy. But so I since I don't have them anymore, since they're with their dad, I have the freedom of like choosing my next career endeavor.
Nice.
So I'm just kind of like floating. Like I'm in LA right now, like kind of peeking the LA scene now. Like might want to do something in LA. might want to do something in San Diego. I might even go to Texas. Like the sky's the limit because I don't have to worry about moving them around and school system and all that stuff. I might be a floater. I need to work where I can work on the beach.
Oh wow. They call them options.
Right.
You got options.
Right. And like when I first retired, like after the ceremony, it was like weird. I was in this weird space, because it's like I'm just so used to the military and used to my phone blowing up. Like, ain't nobody calling me. I ain't got to worry about nothing. I booked that trip and it was like, dang, I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like I felt like I was supposed to do something before I booked it. So I'm sitting there looking at the plane tickets and I'm like, I feel like it's something I'm supposed to do before I do this. But I was like, nah, I ain't got to run no shit. I ain't got to go talk to the anti-terrorism, the force protection or whatever. Right. I ain't got to do none of that. I was like, book it.
That's good, man.
So yeah, it's it's funny. While you're in, you like, oh, I can't wait to get out. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then you get out and you be like,
what am I about to do?
Right. Reality is like for real. And what I thought I wanted to do in the plan has kind of changed a little bit. So it's like, dang, now I gotta now that I'm out, I gotta figure out what I want to do when I grow up. So I applied for a job and I was like, I really don't even want it. It was like pretty much doing the same thing I was doing in. And I was a job at the Brig in Miramar. And so I had applied for that. I don't want to do that. But I applied just to kind of go through the
process.
Yeah. And I did a job interview since my very first job at Target.
Damn.
I did a job interview since then. So I was waiting on my say little quarter answer questions.
Yeah. Hey, when I retire, Tish, I want to just work at random jobs for a week or whatever. Like Dick's Sporting Goods. The golf balls, they out 35. Man.
Right.
I like stores like that. Just for a week, like Best Buy. Best Buy, hey man, home security, it's right over there, dog. You know what I mean? I just
that might not be a bad idea.
I
get
did
the discounts.
Yeah, and I did it when I was young, but I want to do a couple more. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind Starbucks, You know, like that seemed like a learning curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? You got a point. Learn how to make all the drinks
like,
and then just stop working there and then just make them from home.
Take bleed Starbucks dry of information. Like it's your time, Tish. Like it's your time. We got to take this shit back, man. How do they make the macchiato, man? The caramel macchiato. Let's figure this shit out, man.
Put me on that golf course, man. Just put me on the golf course. Let me go out there, you know, manage the golf course. Just at the end of the day, I get the free range balls, free to play, all that stuff. That's the only reason I'm doing it for. Just for the free stuff.
Do it, man. I heard they got good grilled chicken sandwiches on the golf.
Yeah, man. They had them little restaurants be going hard out there, man.
Yeah, I heard they got some good stuff.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, I had this conversation, man, with this guy. He sit right behind me, man, and he putting the package in, like the CWO LDO package he putting in, right? Young guy, probably been in the Navy like 10, 11 years or whatever, right? So he putting his package in. And I'm telling him that, man, you fell in all these ships, man. I said, they not gonna be signing off on your LDO package, man. If you fell in all these ships, because you got on these bigger ships they call handlers, and they like the on the aviation side. Yeah. And he told me, man, I want to know how you guys think about what he said to me, man. He said, yeah, man, part of his brief to the ship, he tells them that he will never fail the ship, that the ship will fail. If its ships fail, it will fail itself. And I wonder, like, hey, it makes sense, but how would you guys feel if I stood up in front of you guys and said, hey, I will not fail you, you will fail yourself? Does it just sound crazy? I don't know. It just sounds crazy.
I like it.
It sounds exactly the truth. Yeah.
I like that approach.
Yeah.
I like that. It take all the personal shit straight out of it, man.
And it is the truth, though. I mean, no shit.
Yeah, I like that approach.
It's legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you think about the fact that he gonna go back and see most of these people on his board or whatever the case may be. But I think you have to respect that, though, right? Like you have to. You can't do nothing but respect what he said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not enough people failing people, and not enough people that's supposed to fail people in the Navy fail people.
Yeah,
so I like that approach.
Yeah,
maybe if we failed each other more, we would have different standards about different things, certain things.
Right. Everybody trying to be nice.
Yeah, are trying to find a way to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so just a couple things real quick. We got so much. I didn't realize we had so much stuff to talk about. I got more information about the IET though, Damon. So last week we got on here, Tish, and we used to talk about. You familiar with IET?
What is it?
You know what IET is?
I doubt it.
Import emergency team.
It's the import emergency team. Yeah. So these are the people that fight fires and floods and casualties on the ship. On their duty day. On duty days in port.
Okay.
But me and Damon was talking last week about how some people. So if you on IET, you don't stand duty. I know you're familiar with duty, right?
Right.
So, but if you got duty on like a carrier, for instance, you stand your watch, or you on IET. It's one or the other. So IET don't stand watches. They just there for if it's a casualty and they train, however they do their training. So, I was confused about why somebody would ever want to be in the regular duty section where you got to stand watch. Some people standing 2 watches a day, 4 on, 8 off. Versus being on IET where you don't stand watch, you just stand by for if in case is a casualty. But I found out, man, I was talking to one of the junior sailors and I was like, why do people not want to stand IET? I don't get it. And he was like, it's hard to get relieved. It's hard to get relieved on IET. On IET, like if you want to go on leave, if you need if you got an appointment, if you need a day or you need 2 weeks, it's hard to be relieved on IET. It's this whole process to be like, this is to get IET relief or whatever like that. So I just wanted to come back and say, I got more information that make me understand a little bit more why people wouldn't want to do IET.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things, man. But I tell you this, man, a lot of times how they try to work that is the fact that you have a little partner in your division. You know what I mean? Say, hey, man, I'm taking leave during this time. Can you stand by for me? But the issue with that is now you taking from that ship's watch bill. You know what I mean? Once you grab your partner that's going to help you out, but now he has to tell the section leader or whoever making the watch bill that, hey, I can't do this week because of this. Right. And it started going, it's like a domino effect then, man, on all that stuff. So yeah, Yeah, most definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Now, what's this smoke? What's this down south shit?
Yeah, man. So, Tish, again, like last week, we talked about food, and I know you saw the little comments and stuff like this. But I was just, when I said the people have spoken, I was going back to, I saw this poll, and I don't know, Damo, you may help me. I don't know where I found it at or where I seen it at, but it talked about the food and stuff like this, and it had the South 80%, and it had the North 20%. So I said, the people have spoken, and they ain't telling no lies and nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's the love, guys. It's the love that we put into what we do, into our craft. And our craft is eating, man. You know what I'm saying? We do it at a high level. We don't really too much care about that healthy stuff down there. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, it was all about food. It was always bringing it in. And Damo, I wanted to talk to you real quick because you was acting a little out last time, man. We talked about this because you was talking about the only thing we do is, garlic powder and onion powder, garlic powder, onion powder. No, it's a little bit more into what we do, man.
Y'all use Lawry's. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's so much more than even that.
I forgot. Y'all use Lawry's too.
You know what I'm saying? More than even that. You know what I mean? We can go get into it all that, but I just want you to know, man, the people have spoken. And it wasn't even close. It wasn't even competitive or nothing like that, man. The people know. The thing about it is,
Damon looked at the survey from like an hour into the survey being out and made a determination.
Yeah, most definitely. And the survey don't lie. People don't lie, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't lie.
So it is two things I want to say because I know we're gonna change the subject real quick, right? It's two things I really want to say. The first thing is, shout out to all the people that stitched. Some people like stitched it and like did their own think pieces about like that and everything like that, right? On TikTok, like other people more popular than we are, right? And I appreciate that. Thanks for using something we made to make something for yourself. I'm glad you are inspired. But I do want to say this, and this is the difference, and this is the world that we live in right now. I made a headline that said the North versus the South, right? That was the headline, right? And I know that headline to attract people to watch the video, but our conversation wasn't about the North versus the South.
True.
Our conversation was, why do the South act like they're the only ones that have good food? That was the conversation. It never was no North versus no South shit. It was why people from the South act like they the only ones that have good food.
Yeah.
So that was the conversation. The whole headline shit is to get people to watch it so they can feel like they're part of the whole thing and all that bullshit. And then our conversation, I'm like, our grandmas came from the same South, all that. I never said nothing about who had the better food. My conversation is why the South act like they on this pedestal of having good food when our families come from the same place. That was what my conversation was in the first place. So I ain't never lost.
Because
I just flim-flam the system.
Yeah, you did. You did a good job of that too, Damo. You did a good job.
Like Dino Brown.
You did a good job. You did a good job. But because it's still down there in the South too, man. That good food's still down there. It ain't everywhere though. That good food's still down in the South.
You can taste the difference.
Yeah. But it's all good. We understand. You were right though. It was about the North. It wasn't about the North and the South. You was right about that. But when you put that headline, when you put that big ass headline, bold print, you know what I'm saying? The title there, that's the first thing they think about, man. North and South. So people just came out and they just wanted to let you know.
And the North still, and I'm gonna tell the South something else real quick.
Hold on, whoa. And you gotta get this off your chest. You gotta get this off your chest. Watch out, Damo. Watch out, man.
Hey, name the top 5 most popular chefs. And if you do it right, tell me which one of them from the South. Let's stop playing, man. Let's stop playing.
No, hold up. Back up, player. Back up.
Let's stop.
So I got you with the most popular chefs though. But a lot of times that thing is that them popular chefs that you see on TV comes from they come from business and all this type of stuff. They get in there and do their thing. They have really
other countries. Southern cuisine ain't lit like that everywhere. Yeah, it's Mexican food.
Hey man,
you can't even find down South spots everywhere, man.
You right. Because we keeping it down in the South. That's why people travel. People traveling down there to get that food.
Yeah, and that makes my point. Because if we talk about home cooking, then we talk about our grandmas. Yeah, y'all can't compare it when we talk about our grandmas because y'all ain't in the houses up north eating our food in the houses the same way we ain't in the houses down south eating y'all food.
But look, man.
What's the number one soul food restaurant in the world? Don't nobody know. It ain't no you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Hell's Kitchen.
Hey, because you can go to any down south spot and somebody gonna tell you that hole in the wall where to get it in at. You know what I mean? It may not be as popular it might not be as popular as something in New York or the big names or whatever. But when it comes to good eating, I know what good eating look like. You know what I mean?
Southern cooking is on the struggle bus, man. And then there's two types. I don't even want to get it. It's two. Y'all got two different types of Southern cooking too. But like I could leave it alone. It's Cracker Barrel Southern cooking. It's Cracker Barrel Southern cooking.
It's a different.
I would leave it alone.
It's two different types. You're right.
It's Cracker Barrel Southern cooking, right? Cracker Barrel Southern cooking, right?
I mean,
that's Southern cooking.
I mean, it ain't.
Yeah, we're gonna leave this alone.
It ain't.
We're gonna leave Cracker Barrel alone, man. We'll leave Cracker Barrel alone.
It's a restaurant in the South, but it's not a Southern. It ain't.
If it's a rocking chair outside in the wait line, that's Southern cooking.
Hey, man.
No, but why when you have the soul food restaurants, no matter where it is, if it's on the East Coast, West Coast, North or South, the hours always be garbage.
Trash. We open 4 hours a day. We gonna run out of the yams and the mac and cheese by hour 2. And that's the place I want to go.
Yeah.
That's the place. Where you got to go 10 times to catch the turkey leg.
Catch it,
This is my 10th time.
Yeah.
And we only got 2 left. Please, sir.
Hey,
please, can I get a turkey leg?
And also before we change that subject too, I want a big shouts out to Damo moms, man, for holding it down for the South cooking too, man. She put a little post on that a little message on it and talked a little bit about the South cooking. I just want to throw that out there, man. Big shouts out to Damo moms.
Yeah, shout out to moms.
I'm about to shut all that down. I'm gonna find a way for her to never hear the podcast again. So with support, man. She be trying to have whole conversations, man. But because our family, they from the South. Most of our family still in the South. Yeah. So it's rooted in the South. So my great grandma pies is the same as somebody from the South, great grandma pies. And don't say nothing about my great grandma. Please leave great grandma out of this. Please leave great grandma out of this.
Great grandma out of it.
Rest well, Mama Clabber. Rest well. We love you. But she was when it came to them pastries.
Big mama.
It was Southern inspired cooking, and that's all I was saying. Like, cause y'all act like y'all stuff is exclusive. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of
they don't make stuffing. What do y'all call it? Stuffing, or do y'all call it dressing? Yeah, they don't make dressing. Yes, we just call it
because you know why we don't call it stuffing, bro? Because stuffing in a box. You know what I mean? The stuffing is in a box. You guys go there and get that little box out the stove.
You tread the line.
You know what I'm saying? You get that line. Up north, you gotta go get that box they stuffing on it, man. That's how y'all roll. No, man. We got that cornbread, man. We did that cornbread, man.
You know, up north, people just had to find shortcuts, man. You know, it's like it's fast life. It's fast living, man. We all got time to soak the
cornbread
all night. Yeah, y'all got
it's a process. It's a process that dressing, bro.
3 days. I've been making this chicken and like we ain't doing all that. Man. They got shake and bake. They got shake and bake, man. We got shake and bake, man. Shake that shit up. Shake that shit up, man. It's time to eat. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. But we stayed there way longer than we probably supposed to.
Most definitely.
I love Southern food. Let's get that wrong. Hey, real quick, and I wish this wasn't a quick topic, but we do. We got some real stuff we want to get into, and we've been talking already for a long time. But leadership. So, you know, we kind of highlighting a couple things we talked about the last spot, and I call it chiefs middle managers, right? And when I heard myself say it, when I listened back to the pod, I'm like, damn, do I need to kind of explain more into that? And this is what I'm gonna say about that. I believe like as a mindset, you could be as much of a leader as you want to be. But I believe like our role on a ship, like our actual role by job description and stuff like that, comparative to like a corporation is like a middle management role, comparative to like a corporation where you got CEOs and all this shit. I think we are the controllers, like the supervisors and shit like that. So that's what I meant by that. But my question for y'all is, do y'all believe it's a difference between mindset and role when it comes to leadership?
Yes.
So for instance, while you're thinking,
yes, I think it's a difference. You know, your role as a chief, you kind of like, okay, I know I need to do this. Your mindset is, I'm going to do it at a different level. You know what I mean? My mindset when I come in every day, I'm like, man, I got boom, boom, boom. As a role kind of give you like, okay, the blueprint. It's in writing. This is what you should be doing as a chief.
Like you're a leader.
Responsibilities
like you're
as a chief.
in a leadership role.
Yeah.
But you ain't got to be a leader to be in a leadership role.
That's
and
true.
you ain't got to be in a leadership role to be a leader.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you most definitely, man, I tell you, if you want to be good or you want to be great, man, they kind of go together though. You know what I mean? Because you got to have that mindset these days, man, where a lot of people that don't want to adapt, right? You got to have a good mindset, man, now to adapt. Like a lot of people don't have that good mindset. It's they still stuck back in the world of, you know, we gonna do this because I said do it. You know what I mean? Not getting buy-in, not getting certain things. So yeah, I agree with all that, man.
You know, and for me, that's like for the first classes too. Like you don't gotta be the LPO, the departmental LPO or whatever like that to stand out, you know, and be a leader. Like you don't gotta shut down because you didn't get that position that you wanted. I just don't believe in that. Like I believe you could stick out. Like if you if you work through all that bullshit, you could stick out. You could still be a leader. You know, so shout out to the chiefs that are out there like being leaders.
Hey, Damo, can I tag on that a little bit, man? A little bit. I want to say, like you said, stand out. You're not like that. Have to be the LPO and all that stuff, man. I had on one of my, not the last ship, on one of my ships I was on, and the HT1 was the LPO, and the DC1 was like, he had a role. He kind of ran the DC, but he wasn't the divisional LPO. And they was 1 and 2 at the command.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you said, it could be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So most definitely, man.
That's like the story of my career. Because being an LN, most of the time, it's just we one of one in the office. So we have to like get outside influence and as far as like getting out there and being leaders in other areas because we most of the time don't have sailors under us. So you gotta I always say bloom where you are planted. Wherever you go, whatever position you're in. Bars.
He's coming back. He's coming back fresh. He's coming back fresh, man.
I like that.
Yeah. You gotta bloom where you planted, man, and not make excuses like you said, like I don't have this position, I don't have this and that. Like I literally, like I made chief and I only had like 8 months of LPO experience under my belt. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. So, and I was ranked over people who were leading a division, but I had my hands in like so many other things where I was leading the FCPOA and stuff like that. Like, you just gotta make the best of what you got. Like figure out what everybody doing, where you can shine, where you can make a difference, and then just get out there and do it. Stop with the excuses.
Yeah.
I wanted to become the combination between Denzel and Will Smith. And some way, somehow, I was able to accomplish that.
Man. Yo, shout out to the people that's getting shit done. You know?
Yeah, man.
To the people that wasn't a shot, Teach. That wasn't a shot.
You be coming out the woodworks with this stuff.
I promise. That was just random. I was like, I gotta find something that's closely. Of course, Tyrese wasn't holding it down like Teach was on a ship. Hey, but speaking of women holding it down, Teach, there's some big news.
Yeah.
Big ass news, right?
Yeah. So we got Joe Biden is and put some respect on his name. President Joe Biden is going to be nominating Admiral Lisa Franchini as a CNO. Yeah. So we're about to have our first female CNO. So that's about to be dope.
That's huge.
That's about to
that's
be
lit.
Don't we always be talking about first female this and that, right? So
loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
He's coming out with
she was the obvious choice too, right? She was a vice CNO right up under the CNO. So she was the obvious. Well, she was a choice anyway. But I read something in that article though. I don't know if you guys, noticed it also, that the Secretary of Defense wanted somebody else.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, well, I guess because sometimes you be in these rooms and people say this and say that, but I'm surprised it made the article. That's what I'm more surprised about.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
Right. Yeah. Why would you say that in the article, even though they got a quote from him congratulating her, breaking barriers and blah, blah, blah. But that part of that article was in there was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And the dude he wanted, the dude, I don't know. I feel like it's Franchetti. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yeah. I feel like it's Franchetti. But the dude he wanted was a beast. But of course, she's the first woman CNO. She's the first woman on a Joint Chief of Staff.
Yeah, man.
And it's a shift because it's going to be a new Vice CNO, of course. Indo-PACOM, a new PAC fleet, New York native. That's why I'm saying Franchetti. It got that New York vibe. Graduated with a bachelor's in journalism from Northwestern. Earned a commission. 85 Reserve Officer Training Corps. 85. That's before I was born. You know what I'm saying? And that's all in her bio. She served Naval Forces Korea, commanded 6th Fleet, and worked as Director for Strategy, Plans, and Policy on the Joint Staff. And of course, this job is coming at a time when China has more warships than the U.S. And is mounting problems with the shipbuilding industry, from the lack of capacity in shipyards to ship just maintenance backlogs and all types of shit. So she is going to have her work cut out for her, but it sounds like she's the woman for the job.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah. Like, even though they put that in the article, this woman is qualified. Let me tell you that. I want to make sure I say that she is qualified to do this job.
Yeah. And we still on hold? I don't know. I ain't gonna update about if everything, because the Alabama senator that's not okay.
Oh yeah. That's what I read that too. Yeah. Tuberville, Alabama guy, man.
Been Alabama.
Yeah, he ain't okay with the women's health. A lot of the things that got to do with women's health when it come to service members. So he was holding off on elected, on like high military brass getting these jobs. I think that held up the Marine.
They still right now. Marines still don't have anybody. And then I think the Army, August the 4th, just passed last week. He was retiring. They had no one nominated to replace him. So yeah, man.
Yeah. But I did see the CNOs, like the changing of leadership poster flyer go out. So I guess I guess because those people have to retire.
They have to retire.
Like, you got to go, dog.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing. No, like what else you gonna do? What else you got to slide? You know what I mean? So. Yeah. So, shout out to her, man. Great job thus far, and just wishing you a great job, and that's just a first, man.
Yeah.
First, first, so we get to see a woman CNO before we see a woman MCPON. You know what I mean? I know we had that conversation before. And it's something that we missed, and I didn't want to miss it forever. And that was the Brandon Act. I didn't want to miss that forever. It's a whole NAV admin about it. But I'm going to talk about a couple points. I think we brought it up on a Facebook at one point, but it's a couple points. Ensure service members understand the procedures to request a referral for a mental health evaluation. So this directive underscores the critical role of engaged leadership in prioritizing, normalizing, and promoting mental health. So it's about normalizing mental health, charging commanding officers and supervisors. And I already said, ensure service members understand the procedures to request a referral. Ensure service members who request the referral are referred to a provider as soon as practicable. Which it's some haze gray in there for me.
Right,
like
for real,
as practicable. Yeah, it's a couple issues with this to me. Treat referrals for MHE, right? MHE is a mental health evaluation. Treat referrals for MHE in a manner similar to referrals for other medical services to the maximum extent practicable. Again, that's problematic to me because my knee never got looked at ever. You know what I mean? Like, I went to medical about 5 times. My knee never got looked at. So when you're saying to treat the mental health referral similar to other medical services, it's like, like some people struggle with other medical services.
Right.
Yeah. maintain privacy protections, and reduce stigma by not requesting information from mental health providers regarding the result of the evaluation, except for information that is disclosed in accordance with DTM 23005. Receive sufficient training to recognize and this for COs, to receive sufficient training to recognize personnel who may require evaluations based on behaviors that indicate that individual may be in imminent danger to self. So a lot of people have been breaking down this whole NAV admin, and it's a whole NAV admin, and I urge everybody to go out and read it, right? A lot of people have been breaking it down and finding like holes in it, right? And y'all can do that if y'all want, right? But what I'm going to say about it is this. I think it was more about the announcement. Like, I think it's more about the announcement. Like, yo, we acknowledging this. We know it. And this is what you have the right to do. Again, like I talked about it last week, sometimes NAV admins could be problematic because it is a lot of gray area in them.
Right.
But for me, this one was like, hey, this is big Navy. It ain't your chief no more saying it. It ain't your divo no more. It's us telling you we acknowledge this shit. And not this shit, but we acknowledge what's going on. We firmly support what's going on. And you could go outside of whatever lines you thought you could to get this done and situated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to get into the mental health realm. It's a lot of people like waiting to get in. Like it takes a long time for them to get in. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, they go for help and then they end up getting separated. So, like, it's unfortunate, but I'm trying to figure out, with the increase of people going to seek mental health, like we need more providers.
Yeah. That's
like that's a big issue, is needing more providers. They have started to outsource.
I think that's a big thing. Yeah,
they started to outsource, so that's good, and that's allowing people to get in a lot sooner now. Because I think that's where the backup was, and Navy just didn't have enough to support. So now that they're sending people out in town, that's good. I think that's making the line a little bit shorter. People are that as soon as practical is making it a little bit more practical for them to get in at a pretty decent time. So I encourage everybody to use it though.
I'm tracking what Damo said. I just think this is something we just had to put out there, right?
Yeah.
And you always gonna have something to pick holes in. Anything come out of the Navy, you're gonna be able to, to pick holes at it or whatever. But I think this is more about, and we said where it get held up at. A lot of times they putting this Brandon Act out so stuff don't get held up. Chain of commands, a lot of shit get held up in the chain of commands.
Chain of command,
somebody think they're doctors and they know what to do and how to do it and all this stuff. So that's one reason. But the biggest thing I got out of this, guys, was the fact that I think we are finally trying to make this normal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like normalize this in the Navy. So I think that's the biggest thing. And I read this and I read a couple of times, and that's the word I got out of, normalize. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what this article is more about, is trying to make this normal, man. Like this is people going to be going here doing this. And yes, it may get worse before it get better. But guess what? We cannot dictate that as a leadership. Somebody else has to dictate that if it get worse or better when it comes to mental health. Not me. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to. Mm-hmm. So all you leaders out there that think you the doctor and all this stuff, no. Send people, let them go to the right places. And that's why we got the Brandon Act. They can go outside of you now. You know what I mean? It's a reason why, this came out to say they can go outside of you now. So.
Right. And I think on the leadership level, us as leaders, a lot of times have issues with going to seek help too. Because you're going to put work in front of you and your sailors, or you just find every excuse possible to not go, or you just.
Yeah, that's facts right there.
You're just in denial. But like, we probably the main ones, because I think it's normal for the younger generation. I think it's completely, they will run to mental health, no problem. They have no problem with going. It's the senior leaders that we feel like we have to have everything together. And so when it comes to us going to get help, we tend to wait until something. That's why we have the drinking problems and all of that stuff. Like, no, just go ahead and go to medical, get help, get some mental health. and put that bottle down.
Yeah.
And this was an all nav, not a nav admin, just to correct what I said earlier. But
Okay.
yeah, and I mean, and we just put we just put the burden on our people. You know, we put that stress, it's infectious, you know, and even if you don't know it's infectious. Like you could really be putting a burden on your people and adding your stress and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because people looking at these things like they are standards. You know what I mean? Like this is who you are, who we are. Like we supposed to be the spirit. I said last two episodes a week, so like we should be working to be like infecting the spirit of our division. So when you coming in drunk, problems, just that, you ain't never getting yourself looked at. That shit is crazy. Y'all familiar with the story from the Brandon Act?
I've read it once before. It was a while back though when they first started talking about it. I read it.
Yeah, about Brandon Caserta. It's a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really sad story. He was dealing with a lot with his LPO. They said it was some bullying involved. And even the way how he went out, Y'all familiar with that?
No.
I don't remember that part.
No. All right, well, we not going to talk about it. It's sad though. You know, when y'all get a chance,
I'm going to take a look at it, man.
You know.
Most definitely. Also,
it's really sad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Also, I was looking at the articles about what the president signed off on the military sexual assault being outside the chain of command.
That's dope.
That's something that's kind of been in the works for a little minute now. On the JAG side, we've just, for the past couple years, we've been doing a lot of restructuring. And this was one of the things that came out of all of the focus groups and stuff that how we handle cases. And so, now they have an established organization called the OSTC. It was the officer. Let me find it. What was it? What was the name of it?
I don't know.
OSDC?
Oh, here it is.
Special Trial Council.
Special Trial Council. Yeah. So these are the ones that's going to prosecute sexual abuse, child abuse, like those type of, like the SVU. You remember that show SVU, Special Victims Unit?
Yeah, it might be still out shit. I don't know.
It might be. But it's like a you're going to have prosecutors, or they're going to prosecute them from this organization. So it's not going to be the chain of command and all that stuff. So it's taking the power away from COs and stuff like that for those cases that need that special attention. Now I think it's pretty dope. I think it's pretty good. We'll see how it works out. But it's been something that we've just been doing a lot of revamping, just trying to make things better, because those cases. Yeah. Those types of cases, like, they do need that special attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I think
when you're ruling on something like that, like, you need to know, how to handle those sensitive cases like that. So I think with having them, taking that power away from COs and stuff like that, and even like just, a random, JAG or, a JAG that, because they're going to give them the specialized training too, to figure out how to prosecute those types of cases. So I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's good. Get it out the chain of command. Take all that stigma away from the ship, all the rumor mill, all that. Just take it all out.
Just take it away.
Yeah, just take it all out. And that's one thing.
Because COs really don't want to deal with that anyway.
Yeah.
They got casualties. They got manning issues and maintenance issues. And to have to deal with that along with all, like, they just put that with, the other people. So
you know why I think it's great, man, because it's life-changing events happen after this. Right. And I don't want to have the CEO, anybody making life-changing events like that. The outcome of something that's like this changes everything. Right. Yeah. So I think that's one of the biggest things I got out of reading about it was I think it's great because now you got somebody that can actually do a real investigation on it and interview everybody that need to be interviewed. And when you make that decision, you're just making it because, of somebody there that may possibly have an outcome. You know what I mean? Maybe like the human factor of the fact that you're on a ship and you working with them and all this type of stuff. So you take all that out And I think this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when you take the Brandon Act, right, and you take this thing that Biden just talked about, right? And then when you look at what's going on in the world, like what's going on in California with the actors and the writers on strike, UPS just went on strike. You know, UPS went on strike and got their demands.
They did.
Fast. Like that
they did.
Started. Yeah, we're going to give y'all that 30 million or whatever it was y'all wanted. So when you look at all of that and we thinking about these unions, you know, it's been looked at before and talked about before about military unions. So other militaries in our world have unions. What's y'all thoughts on, you know, and I'm not, this ain't a like we should do it or we shouldn't do it type like conversation. So it was a big study, right? Like the government did a big study on unions and they wrote up a letter. It was a document, resume, a report to the Congress by the Comptroller General of the U.S. And it was information on military unionization and organization, right? Of course, this thing is like 46 pages long. And I didn't read it all, but it was just a conversation about having unions in the military to protect service members or, you know, for the rights of service members. It says the prospect of U.S. military unionization has become a distinct and controversial issue. One large public employee union has amended its constitution to permit military membership, while in the Congress, numerous bills have been introduced to prohibit such unionization. This study was made to provide additional information rather than to support a position for or against military unionization. The report describes military unionization and organization in selected European countries and discuss some basic aspects of the U.S. military unionization issue, right? So we all know how unions work. What's your thoughts on if the military had unions?
Yeah, I'm ready. There's no way we could have a union. I'm telling you right now, it's impossible. But you know, the article that Damo is referring to is like back in 1977. So back in 1977, it was a possibility that union it could have worked. It's possible back in that time. But now, ain't no freaking way a union can work, man. All the stuff that's going on in the world right now, for people who want their demands on how they want to do things, we will never get anything done. We need the military to be ready, right, at all times, right? Be ready to take on anything. Man, we'll be on strike so goddamn much, man.
Right.
Imagine saying that too. Like, imagine saying that. Like, yo, we on strike, man.
Bro, strike. Like,
we
what?
get attacked.
Yeah,
like
get attacked by somebody and we on strike.
Like,
ain't no way.
Yeah, well, we ain't doing it. We ain't going. We ain't about to go. Ain't no D-Day today. Like,
the shit is in the air. I'm sorry.
Right.
Where's going?
Right.
Yeah, they just gonna have to take DC out.
Exactly. There's a reason why we have AWOL and desertion. Because ain't no strike.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think it'll happen either. That was a quick. Y'all got that one out of here quick. It took me longer to explain it. And I'm trying to read through the article and everything. Like,
it was quick. Ain't no way. Like, impossible, bro. Impossible.
It ain't happening, man. So Fort Cavazos, right? Fort Cavazos, right? Which is an artist formerly known as Fort Hood, right? A command formerly known as Fort Hood. Man. In the news again.
Once again.
It's back in the news, man. The headlines be devastating. They be having the most. This ain't funny, right? But y'all, like David said it. They need to shut the base. David said it, man. Y'all trying to change the name. Look, you could take the girl out the hood, man, but you can't take the hood out the girl.
Shut that motherfucker down.
So it says the soldiers have been without proper access to food for months, right? And I might want to trying to go through this whole thing because they don't write these too complicated. That 1977 language that I was just reading, a couple of I couldn't even see the word.
Yeah, I read this. It was crazy.
So it says, did you read all 46 pages?
Hell no. I got what he was talking about.
Where the cliff notes at?
You got the summary.
So for this, Fort Cavazos, right? Cavazos, I think, right? And all salute and respect to the service member that they named this place after. But it says one of the Army's largest bases has been barely able to keep its food services up and running for months, according to soldiers stationed there and dining facility schedules reviewed by military.com. So this came from military.com. Military.com be on Fort Cavazos ass. like they on y'all ass. You know what I mean? They try to change the name, like, hey, well, we coming to see Fort Hood. Oh, ain't no Fort Hood over here.
Right.
Just Fort Cavazos. Ain't no Fort Hood.
Right.
But so it says, and they make sure they saying it. The situation at Fort Cavazos, Texas, previously known as Fort Hood, has left some junior enlisted with few options for meals as top officials on base struggle to juggle logistics, while most of its cooks are on deployment. Missions are serving field training, other events. The base had only 2 of its 10 major dining options open every day for much of the summer, with 3 other open only during limited times. The closures forced many soldiers to drive long distances across base, sometime an hour round trip for their meals. But not all junior soldiers have vehicles. And the base provides only a limited shuttle service with none dedicated to dining facilities. The service is so limited that some service members interviewed by military.com didn't even know it exists. Right? So I'm not going to get too deep into the article because it's a longer article. But it says dining facilities been a key focus in the Army's discussions on boosting the quality of their life for soldiers, including like healthy meals, stuff like that. But no service has made notable progress in those efforts. So Army officials are allowing soldiers to use their meal cards at non-military restaurants on base, such as Panera, and I think it's called Qdoba, but I know some people call it Qdoba. An idea that is currently being piloted at Fort Drum, New York. So, I mean, how does this happen? What's y'all thoughts? Like, what can we do to fix these types of problems? We probably don't have answers, but what's some suggestions on how to fix like these kind of problems?
Well,
like, how is it that soldiers ain't eat?
I'm stuck on this one, man. I don't know how the hell this could happen in the military, man. You don't hear no Navy shit happen, no shit like this from the Navy. We'll make that shit happen. We'll tell you use your government credit card until we figure this out. We're going to do something. This is not going to happen, man. Like, I cannot believe that you can tell me that these kids have nowhere to eat and it's miles and miles away. We know that already as leaders. Base CO or whatever the case may be. If these people do not have a way of doing things, somebody's finna come up with a plan today. You know how many times I done heard, today we will have something for these sailors. Today they should have something for those soldiers. This ain't waiting. This ain't no pilot program. This ain't shit. We need to make sure that these people are able to eat and do the things they need to do so they can do their job at a high level. Right? That is it. That's period. Right. They the military, man. Ain't no way they should be going through no shit like this. Ain't no way.
They saying they ain't got enough cooks. They saying they ain't enough
and that's what I was like.
That sounds to me like an easy fix. Bring in some civilians. I don't care what you got to do. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do.
You got to do something. You can't have them not eating though. And it's like the fact that it's been an issue for so long. Like I can see if it becomes an issue and then they quickly fix it. It's been an issue. It's been the issue for so long. Like, how have y'all not figured out something? Like you said, Damon, like hire people to come in and cook then. Get food services on base. Bring in some food trucks. Out here in the West Coast, we notorious for having food trucks. I have food trucks come in like they ain't even trying. They more focused on changing their name and trying to stay on the cover.
It ain't a money thing. We know it's not a money thing.
Trying to move the bodies around.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Trying to move them bodies around. But another thing that they said, though, is they did open up 2 more dining facilities on base, but they never announced them opening. So it sounds like it's some communication stuff, going on there, too.
Get it done.
I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think, though. I'm not on the opposite side of y'all, but I don't know what to think because, I mean, like, it's hard to get people in. Like, so it's like, I know the Army not having the best go at getting people in. Ain't the Army the one who got the rappers? Is that the Army?
Yes, the rappers. Yeah, the Army. The
so, they trying to, the rappers try to get people in. Like, so we having trouble getting people in, you know what I mean? So it's like now we running like, so the cooks, they deploy, like, so it's like, how big can this issue actually get? You know what I mean? Like, how big is the issue? How big can it actually get? You know what I'm saying? But it is some. I just don't know why we don't go the civilian route a little bit more often. Like I was saying with the barracks cleaning service. My mom was talking to me. She's like, it ain't like they could just. She heard the episode. She's like, it ain't like they could just get like a cleaning service from like civilians to come through and like just regular people. Like, I don't know. Because at my last command,
they do it in offices.
Yeah, and they employ people. I don't know the best word to say. But at my last command, they was employing people with learning disabilities and things like that. So you would see people like the cleaners, and that's another good thing because now you're giving you paying these companies that's hiring people that other places might like be reluctant to hire. Yeah. So now we supporting this and this staff getting money and these cool people coming through and helping us out. So it's like, what can we do?
Win-win.
Like, where can we get cooks from? Where can we get food? And I'm like, it's some people, I know Damon will go over there and throw down. Damon from the South. He'll go throw down.
You already know.
You know what I mean?
Hey, don't even laugh about it. He already know. Damo know how the wings go, how the ribs go. He already know what time it is, man. That's what we do.
Angeline, when Angeline listened to me say that on the clip, she was like, you don't want no smoke with Damon. Like, I don't want no smoke with Damon. Like, I was like, I know how Damon get down.
He gonna go on strike and stop cooking.
Yeah, not me. Like that, I was talking about the rest of the people up north. Not me. But yeah, so y'all need to figure it out. Hey, people from the South, y'all talking all this cooking. Bring y'all Chico sticks and y'all food over to Fort Cavazos and like let's hook these young soldiers up on some real shit. Let's this shit and let's figure something out. Real quick, I downloaded the Shellback app and it was horrible. It was garbage. I deleted it off my phone, got rid of it in its existence from my phone.
Oh man, Damo, I just downloaded it, man. I ain't looked into it yet, but it's garbage, huh?
Yeah, I ain't like. I was looking for some instructions, man. I think it was like 3M, man, and like I was looking for my 300. It was like Rev 9. We on Rev 11, y'all. We on Rev 11, guys. We on Rev 11. We on Rev 11. You know what I'm saying?
Who update? Who in charge of updating that thing, man?
Yeah.
Right.
I still got a 5-year feedback in too, y'all. Holla at me, Napsy. Holla at me, somebody. And I emailed my guy, man. Holla at me, dude. Like, I know you saw that email, man.
Right. I know you watching the pod, man. Holla at your boy, man. Holla.
But yeah, the Shellback app was not it, man. So Shellback is the old eDevo. I was on an app locker and I was like, yo, I was desperately trying to find this app, and I think I was on barracks duty, so I couldn't go back to the ship because I probably would have just went back to the ship. You know what I'm saying? Because I live on base. But I was trying to find an instruction, two instructions, because I was looking up 2 different answers. I'm like, oh, we have this thing that's easily accessible, and I could just download that. They ain't had I downloaded that. Wasn't nothing on that. I was able to.
Nah.
I just deleted that shit.
Yeah, and
it was trash.
And I also when Damo bring this up, man, I want to make sure that if that shit is old, don't use it. Don't think it's the same thing. Shit changes all the time in these new revs. Don't think, since it's old, it's the same fucking thing. Don't use it. I'm telling you, don't use it. Don't do it.
From 2018 and 2023, these revs, they changed tremendously.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They changed tremendously. It ain't the same. The 300 ain't the same no more. Some of the things that used to be like, you can't have it on board. Now it's like Electro's discretion. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to talk to Electro.
Yep.
You might be able to have it. So a lot of that, because I was ready. I remember the episode. I said, I'm coming. I looked deeper. I took a closer look into the 300 and I had to bog down on some of the smoke. You know what I mean? I had to turn that lever on the smoke down a little bit. I can't. Like, all right, but yeah, just talk to Electro, man. I'm gonna give you this back. It's like, nah. Right. It's like, hey, to the people, I ain't never take nothing from somebody without knowing that, I should take it or not. I don't do that. Hey, my do better. Hey, Damon, you got to do better.
Yeah, man, it's on my list. It didn't make the list, man. I don't know what happened. You cut that one off, bro.
List. No, bro, like you,
his imaginary.
You copy. You got a messed up list. We done went over that.
Look at the picture, bro. I don't know what's going on, man.
You got your list off Shellback. You got his list off Shellback. Your list messed up, man. So, hey, mine is quick, man. I'm not leveraging my people's schedule to build relationships on last minute jobs. Give my schedule and my people's schedule some grace. I don't care about what you could do for me. Listen, I love every chief. I love y'all, man. You know, I do whatever I can for y'all, and I'm gonna get shit done for y'all. You know, but if you telling me about a job, you know, I don't care if Top told you to come holler at me, man. Like, I might not do that for you today. You know, unless I could personally do it. I'm not the kind of chief that want to tell my people at 1330 about this BS job or whatever and change that whole entire work list. So I got add it into my work list, but I ain't about to change nobody's work list. That's something that I don't like doing. You know what I mean? And I've been getting into pushing my people because, you know, electricians, like, we want to fix shit when people bring it to us, right? So a lot of times people come talk to the electricians and the electricians like, all right, let me go see it right now. You know what I mean? And that be messing up our work plans, right? This is just me being a little transparent. But that mess up my work plans because my people always want to help. You know what I mean? So it's like we have jobs. I feel like Damon can't hear me. Can you hear me, Damon?
I hear you.
Okay. I feel like we have jobs, but we don't get them done sometimes because we going to help everybody that wants services. So I'm telling my fellow brothers and sisters, I'm not doing that. You know, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, but I'm not adding more to my guys' plates and the women that work for me to their plates for some cool points. I'm sorry. Yeah. You know what I mean? I ain't doing that shit. So, you know, that's my do better is give my schedule, give my people, give it some grace or whatever. Give it some, I promise you, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to be cool. I love all y'all, but I can't leverage my people for that shit. Sorry.
And Damo, just to add to that and to all the, you know, those work centers that have to help people out. Hey, we have to understand that shit as leaders too, though. I ain't like, look, if it ain't like emergency, like type shit, I have to understand that that you're not finna jump through hoops right now in the next 5 minutes to get this done. I have to understand that. So when my sailors say, hey, Senior Leggings, this just broke. Can you go talk to, you know, Senior McCullough real quick and see, can we do this? Right? I need to say, no, what is it? Right? Can it wait? You know, can they do this? Whatever. Can you put a trouble call in for it? We as leaders, we have to think about it like that, man. We can't just, you know, everything can't be emergency. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything can be emergency.
And you know who I think get a lot of that smoke is the ITs. Because computers down, we calling them like, hey, my computer ain't working.
That might be emergency though.
Like, I need you to come up here now.
I'm going home with my computer down, bro.
Like, I need you to come here now. They be like, call MTI. No, I need you.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
To the crib. I gotta go to the crib.
But you know, speaking of like, speaking of schedules and keeping schedules and respecting schedules, my do better is with the TMO people, and not necessarily the Navy TMO, but like, so with my last move, right? I'm moving my kids' stuff that was pretty much my whole ex-husband's house, along with the stuff that was at my house that belonged to the kids, because they had like their own beds and stuff at his house too. So I'm using my last move to move them to the East Coast. So I schedule the move or whatever online or whatever. They call me the day before, like, we're going to be there between this time and this time. All right, cool. That morning comes, they ain't there. So I'm calling, the guy answered. He was like, yeah, it was canceled. I didn't cancel it. So then I had to end up calling like the base and everything. But TMO, like Navy TMO was on it, because actually she called me and was like, I'm outside your gate. Like, she was like just pulling up to my house. I was like, dang. So she came over. We talked about everything. They got it rescheduled, sent it out. Then trying to deliver it, right? Trying to deliver it. Trying to call, nobody's answering. Like, I put in the request online, ain't heard nothing from nobody. So I'm trying to call these people, leaving messages and everything. Ain't nobody answering. Finally, we get a hold of somebody. They schedule it. That morning comes. My ex-husband called. He's like, ain't nobody showed up. So we blowing up the people phone again, the one who called and said they were going to be there. And this dude was like, yeah, we had issues with one of our trucks. And he was like, they were supposed to call you and let you know. I was like, yeah, nobody called me. He hit me with the, man, that's crazy. No, it was
Man,
wow,
that's
that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
What did he
Wow,
say,
that's
man?
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I can
That's
tell he was a brother. So I already knew what that meant.
Oh, man.
I was like, you gotta be kidding. But I mean, they finally delivered it. But I was just, why is it? It was just such a hassle from start to finish on this move. And it's just, and I think this was probably the worst one I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had any issues with my TMO moves.
Yeah.
Ever.
You most definitely got to be on top of it these days, though. You got to be asking questions. You got to be calling. You got to make sure all type of shit now, man. You better be on top of your game.
You really do. Because they don't care. Damo, what's yours that's on the list? Or Damon?
Oh, yeah. My do better, man, is old school leadership, man. I'm fucking tired of it, man. I'm tired of old school leadership, man. I'm going at it right now. I'm going to talk to you guys about this, man. AKA dinosaur leadership, right? Hey, do not, and this is personal for me right now. I'm telling you guys because it's personal, right? Don't make a watch bill and then tell everybody that go talk to your DLCPO about it. I didn't make it, so don't talk to me about it. Right? I didn't have no input in that watch bill. Don't come talk to me about it. Right? Second thing is, don't go out here and make all of these, putting people in charge of all these things and put a deadline on it and then turn around and say, go talk to your DLCPO about it. Right? I didn't even put these people in place. You put these people in place. Right? You go talk to them. Right? I know what people are good at. They work for me. I know what they're good at, not good at, and all this good stuff. You put them in place, then come talk to nobody in my chain of command about it, and then expect me to hold it down. Right? You know what happens when it happens like that? I end up doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I end up doing it. So this old school leadership with people don't have buy-ins is over with. You have to get buy-in. When you got buy-ins, people get shit done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When I don't have a buy-in, don't expect it. Cause I'm like, what? You come to me with this, I'm like, what? I ain't even when I read the email, straight done with it. Right? I'm done with it because I'm not involved with it. Right? Time I read it, I'm done with it. I already deleted that motherfucker. Right? Then somebody, hey, did you see that email? No, I didn't see that email. I saw it briefly. Right? But I didn't have no buy-in on it.
That type time.
And look, and I do it for a reason. Because sooner or later, you're going to come talk to me about it. And then that gives me the opportunity to tell you I didn't have buy-in on it. Mm-hmm. And I have a big problem with not having buy-in on something that you want me in charge of. I got a big problem with. This ain't that this is over with, man. This is not freaking 1980, 90 or whatever. It's over with. Get buy-in on your shit.
Do me.
All right, I'm done.
Wow.
It happened to me a couple times. Wow.
It
happened a couple times right now, man.
That struck a nerve.
Smoke, man. Hey, so it's one thing I forgot to tell y'all, like from earlier. It's something I forgot to tell y'all from earlier. It's RA stuff, right? I forgot to tell y'all this. I completely blew it. Mm-hmm. Tell me, but I want to know what y'all would do. So I'm on RA duty, and I'm roaming. I'm doing my regular rove down the long ass hallway, right? Mm-hmm. So I get a call. And normally, where I'm from, if you get a call from down the corridor, it's never a good thing. Like if somebody call you, if you don't know anybody where you are, and you hear a call from afar, it's about to be something coming. Like it might be some people skip running. There might be some skip running happening, right? I look back, it's the complex manager. And she like, why is it ambulance? She like, you a RA, whatever? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. She's like, why is it ambulance outside the building? I'm like, shit. Like, let's go find out together. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's go find out. You know what I mean? So we go find out a sailor had a small medical issue. So it was a chance that they would either be good to go or have to go back to medical. So, I'm like, all right, just if you got to go back, let me know because I'm logging this stuff, right? He had somebody that was there from medicals helping him, and the person told me there's a chance he got to go back if things don't level out. So, so now remember, the RA duty is from 17 to 2300. So he texted me at like 2000 and was like, hey, senior, I got to go back. I'm going to go back to the hospital. Boom. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, if you stay there past, if you know you're going to stay there past 2300, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Now, my RA duty came a day after my regular duty, right? Mm-hmm. On my regular duty, it was a cellar I couldn't find. Like, at the same time as I'm trying to find a cellar, Angeline texted me. She was in the ER. She had to go to the ER because of a situation that I was worried about. So I had a long day on my regular duty. So on my RA duty, I was tired. So my thought process is by 2300, I'm taking my ass to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. Seller didn't text me before 2300. Text me at 2304. Like, a senior. Let me find this text because I don't want to say nothing wrong or whatever. But pretty much the seller needed like a way home. Pretty much, right? But this after my RA duty's over. I signed out the logs. I ain't a RA no more now. You know what I mean? I signed out because you signed out at 23 or whatever. This ain't a seller on my ship. This ain't a seller from my command or nothing, right? But the seller needed a ride home. So the chief in me is now ready to get a seller a ride home. The human in me is tired as shit. I know I'm going to have to go to work. The seller is always in Portsmouth or some shit like that. I'm in Norfolk. So my thing is this, the least I could do is get you an Uber. You know what I mean? But the hospital, because the hospital this is what the hospital asked the seller. They was like, can you find somebody, a khaki, that could give you a ride home? And I'm like, yo, how come the hospital got you there? How come they not going to drive you back? You know what I mean? But then, so he said they asked him to find a khaki. He's like, so I hit you up. I'm like, damn, I'm the only khaki. Like, we just met today. We just met today. How am I option? When did I become option number one?
Right.
And that's what's in my head. So, but I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm sure like it's not in, like, we've passed the extent of what a RA duty is, right? So I told him, like, I'm sure this ain't in the RA duty, but if you need a ride home, I don't feel comfortable driving because I was asleep by the time, he was still texting me around 1 o'clock because 0100 because they couldn't find nobody. He said they called his quarterdeck. The OD didn't answer. So like his command wasn't rogering up or whatever. Wow. So he could not get in contact with his command. So it was just me. You know what I mean? So, but I'm falling, my ringer, I don't keep my ringer on my phone. Like I just don't use my ringer at all, right? Because I use my watch. When I'm asleep, my watch ain't on, whatever, right? So I'm not getting his text messages of real time. So by like 1 o'clock, I see the text message and he was like, you good, senior? The hospital got me. They call on my chain of command. They good. Then later on, he texted me again, like, I'm not good. I need a ride. Boom. So that's when I'm like, hey, I could get you an Uber, because I'm too tired to get up and I'm beat. Like between my wife being in ER and all this, I really can't do it. So I wound up, he was like, no, senior, it's straight. I'm good. And then like I woke up again and he needed a ride again. And then the other message was that he had got a ride home. So my question for y'all as my friends and my co-hosts and fellow chiefs, was I wrong?
Mm-mm.
Nah. I mean,
Okay.
it's I would have asked probably a million questions, man, to the young sailor. But what I would have did, just like you did, you was going to make sure he was good. But I'm about to ask you. I'm gonna ask you a million questions though. Like, where's your chain of command? I may even got his chain of command number myself and try to call.
What's your
you know what
number?
I mean? Like, I'm gonna go to that extent because that's who's supposed to be taking care of him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, you most definitely wasn't wrong with that in that Damo. Like, that's. But you're right. I would have wanted to ask him too how you was option A too. Like, I was.
Right.
Why are you calling like me right now? Like, I understand I'm the RA, but that has nothing to do with RA duties at all.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so yeah.
And he thanked me for caring. Like after everything,
most definitely,
he's like, thanks senior for trying. You know what I mean? He thanked me. I knew I couldn't get up and and give at 1 a.m, like, cause that's like the last text that I was able to see. I knew I couldn't get up and do that for him at the time. Like I knew everything, right? I was just beat. But for anybody listening, y'all gonna let me know too what y'all think.
Who was it that finally picked him up? Was it somebody from his chain of command?
No, still not. The chain of command still didn't come through for him.
Oh, if I was you, I would contact that CMC for sure. On the back
he wound up just hitting the Uber. He wound up hitting the Uber.
Yeah, I would have to call that CMC.
I might want to.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should reach out to the CMC and
because I'm sure the CMC don't want to hear that. Like that. Like this whole thing happened.
Yep.
But even that, like the RA, and maybe it's my fault because I'm trying to just like I'm just trying to be an RA and just. Like not like deal with the bullshit. I just want to like stand my duty days. You know what I'm saying?
Be all right.
Like, I just want to be all right. Rove the P-ways. Like, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Hey, real quick thing I noticed just in my life is when you go to the market, right? You go to the market, you in a good mood, in good spirits, you get up to the cashier, you try to speak to the cashier. Cashier don't want nothing to do with you. They just ringing up your shit. They mean, they mad. They talking to the other cashiers across from the market. They doing all the bullshit. They ain't got no time for you, right? But when you walk in the market and you on your phone and you having a conversation, right, with somebody, like we in the military, so sometimes we talking to our moms that we just came from underway. We talking to our wives. We trying to find something out. When you having that conversation, that cashier got a whole lot of commentary for
right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gonna use your benefits or whatever? He like, nah, I'm good. Then you try to get back to your phone with your wife. Hey, let me see that ID. No, you gotta scan it. Hey, you gonna do paper or plastic? Like, yo, shut up. Because if I wasn't on this phone, you would not be having this much time. Yeah, like, oh, did you know that you could get 2 of them for free? Hey, you gonna put your number in the thing? Oh, I can use my number if you. Yo,
they gonna make you get off the phone. They trying to make you get off the phone.
Bring me up, dog. You would not be talking to me if I wasn't on the phone. Stop that. I don't know if y'all ever been through that, but I go through that all the time. Like, you got all these questions.
Most definitely will not talk to you on a normal time, bro. They will bring that shit up real quick, get your ass up out of there. Not even greet you when you come there. How you doing? Nothing.
Right. They just start scanning.
Nope.
They just start scanning. Yeah.
They don't even look up. They move that thing, that little separator, and your shit is just on the conveyor.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when you on your phone,
you got everything to say.
Yeah, man. They be on your ass then, boy. On your ass.
They want to know everything when you on that phone. Are you sure? Like, you sure you want the Lysol? Yo, yeah.
Bring that shit. Oh, man. Yeah, man. So I got a random thought, man. I know we don't know the answer, but I'm going through the marketplace stuff, man. I was just been thinking about, like, sooner or later it's going to be the E7 is going to be going through it also. You know what I'm saying? The E6 going for E7. And my question was, like, is this the end of the Chiefs season? And the only reason why I thought about it like that, because me personally, I couldn't even get frocked, right, until I pick orders, right? So how's that going to work for them? They can go, you could be an E6 for 2 years. Right now, how it's stated right now, right? Mm-hmm. You can be an E6 for 2 years before you pick orders and be a chief. And then if you don't, be orders to pick for Master Chief. And if you don't get picked in those 2 years, you go back into that pool, right? If they do the same thing now, it's a possibility that first class don't put on chief because he got to pick a billet if they go with the same criteria, right? So that was my thought process. Is this the end, of the chief season? And I know we don't really know the answer because we don't really know if that's how it's going to be or not. Yeah, but it's a thought that I'm getting out. And I want the listeners to, give me what they think also about this, man.
Mm.
Yeah, and get it out before they do write the nav ad.
Yeah.
And
don't think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? To get it out.
It's already dwindled down a lot. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did get rid of it in the next years or so. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It most definitely be part of it because, you just sit there.
But speaking about marketplace, though, so y'all remember my cousin, right? My long lost cousin.
Yeah.
We are Facebook friends now. Okay. And he talks a lot.
Anita Baker, right?
Huh? No, my long lost
Anita
cousin.
Baker, right?
No, my long lost cousin that's in the Navy.
Yeah, I know who you talk about. I know
Oh, that was glad.
Yeah, we Facebook friends now too.
Y'all got the same nose.
Y'all Facebook friends now. So you know my cousin then. Yeah, and he talk a lot about the marketplace. I just want to throw that out there. You know my cousin. So, and he's talking about the marketplace thing. I think we should get my cousin on here to talk about his marketplace experience.
Let's get your cousin on.
Yeah.
Since he's my cousin, I'm going to call him. I'm going to ask him for a family discount.
Yeah, let's get him
Like,
on.
hey,
We ain't had a guest in a while.
Yeah, I saw him. He did post something not too long ago too. He just posted something about it.
Yeah, but like, hey, cuz.
Yeah, let's get him on. We gotta get Tone on too. We gotta get Tone on.
Oh yeah,
point. Yeah. Tone been pretty active. We gotta get him on. So we had dinosaurs. We talked about dinosaurs before, right? So that was a term. That's a PTSF term.
Mm-hmm.
Goatfish is a PTSF term, right? So here's another term. And I promise y'all we're going to get out of here soon. It's been a longer one. Longest one in a while. Gatekeepers. What is a gatekeeper, right? And if this wasn't a professional military program, a different host might call these people technical terrorists or knowledge Nazis, right? But what's a gatekeeper, right? So this is a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper is the person that when the whole division, even the people that work closely with them, and I'm talking about technical rates. All right, probably could be like LN stuff too, right? But when the whole division, even the people that work closely with you are working on a piece of equipment and everybody scratching their head because they can't figure this shit out. Don't nobody know what's going on, right? They just can't figure it out. Some of these people you've been working with for 2 years, but they can't figure it out. You somewhere, you in your cave somewhere putting your bat suit on, getting ready to go there. Getting ready to go down that bitch 20 minutes after everybody else been scratching their head. There might be a chief there, a divo there scratching their head. Then you come and you push this real quick button and you push another one and you lift this one thing up and then you lift one more thing up and the thing works. And then you look at everybody else like they pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to tell you this straight up. You are a fucking gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Damo, I got a story, man, that just happened on the ship I was on, man, last week. I want to know if this qualifies as a gatekeeper, man. So this ship cannot get underway because of a red line, right? Red line item can't get underway, and it's on an eductor. They can't get it to work or whatever, right? So they need a new eductor, right? And they jumping through hula hoops to get the eductor. They missed their underway time because they couldn't get it fixed, right? They had a sailor on board that was checking out of the command, right?
Gatekeeper, that's a gatekeeper.
Yeah. So
you ain't even got finished. You're a gatekeeper, dog. No, I'm listening.
So as he or she check it out with their senior chief, they was talking about the eductor, and the sailor said, "Oh, we got one of them down in the storeroom." And they already missed. And look, they done missed their time to get on the way and everything, and they got one right in the storeroom down there. We had one that was messed up before, and we end up fixing it. So we ordered one, and it's just been sitting down there. He said he goes down that thing all shiny and new and everything.
I mean, but in his case, it might depend on if he didn't know what was going on, or whatever. Yeah. But if he did and all that, you're a gatekeeper, dog. You let your people. Yeah. So a gatekeeper is somebody, and I can tell y'all know it is, but it's somebody that's holding that knowledge,
holding it.
You
waiting
just
on that perfect time.
Knowledge.
Yeah,
yeah, and like you're okay with leaving and never ever like passing it off to nobody else, because that knowledge is what gives you your power.
Yeah,
right.
That knowledge is what gives you your leverage, your credibility,
right?
All of that shit. You can't do that, man. We need to train our people.
Yeah.
We don't need gatekeepers out there. Have y'all deal with gatekeepers in your rate too? I'm sure y'all probably do.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everywhere.
Absolutely. It's
especially when it comes to equipment. Because, some equipment, you got to tweak it a certain way and do it. And you know what I mean? All this type of stuff. And they know it. And then all of a sudden they just come up there and just shine on you. You just look at them like,
real quick. Yep, real quick. And then walk away. Yeah. Get up out of there. Get up out of there.
Most definitely.
Train your people, man. Don't let your people look like that.
Yeah, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when the whole chain of command know. Whole chain of command know about it, and all of a sudden now this person came up there and boop, boop, boop. And then they hit you up there, your DCA or your Divo hit you up and say, man, Y'all ain't figured that. They did that real quick. You guys ain't know that? No, we ain't fucking know it.
Yeah, we know man. They've been keeping it in. You know, you can't don't pride yourself on being the only one that know how to fix something, man. Especially when you senior, man. Chief, chief, senior chief, even first class. Like, don't pride yourself on being the only one, man. We need to be passing that knowledge, to our sailors, man. Everybody need to be able to do something. You shouldn't go on leave and like it's critical unless you like the ship's like with like the quartermaster, like the ship's navigator or something, and they got like they need you, or you're a SAR swimmer. But outside of that, like you should not be like, that mission critical. Like get the vision, your people should know what they're doing when you're not around. You know what I'm saying? But what about your world, Tish?
Yeah, we have gatekeepers for sure. I think with ours though, like ours is a little bit different though. I think most of our gatekeeping is like office management type stuff, or like stuff that you've done in the past that didn't really work and you already know it ain't gonna work. Because one thing about the JAG Corps, they operate completely different than the real Navy.
Yeah.
And it's annoying actually, because we already have systems in place for everything in the Navy. So like, why are we doing things different? This ain't a law office. And they try to operate everything like a law office. But like sometimes you have people who like, same thing, like they know the answer to something, but they want to see you sweat to try to like figure it out. And the more attention that goes into everybody trying to figure out the answer, the more like they just be waiting for that moment. Yeah, they be waiting for that moment to be like, oh, all you got to do is do this right here.
Yo, you ever watch it like Batman when he getting dressed? Like he putting the gloves
on. The glove on.
Helmet on. The belt, strapping the belt.
Everything clicking.
Click. You can swoop in there and save the day.
Yeah. People that's like really strive for that though. Like they start pulling their pants up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
They feeling themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be down in a minute, Chief.
Yeah. the little slow stroll. Let me go fix some shit. Come back.
Yeah. Get out of here.
That's the type of motherfucking David who sling their tube back over their shoulder.
Yep.
Let's go figure this out. Man. You know what I'm saying? Tell their little other friend, I'll be back in about 8 minutes.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about it.
Go fix this shit for them real quick.
Exactly.
I'm always fixing everything.
I've even seen it on a junior enlisted side too, where they'll sit there and watch the junior person struggle and don't tell them nothing. Oh, that's so annoying to me.
You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Yesterday. Okay.
Hit you with that. You didn't know that either. You didn't know that? Oh,
right.
Wait till they leave. Wait till they leave to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, go grab the socket set real quick. While they grab the socket set, they hurry up and fix that shit. Make them feel like shit when they come back.
Right.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
I got one more thing. I don't know how long it's going to take. Hey, we love y'all, man. That's why we gave y'all some extra time today, man. We got Tish back. She fresh off vacay. So y'all had some extra time. No, we've been keeping it like short. We over 2.5 hours already. So I was talking to one of my first, we had a good conversation in one of my first classes, and he was like, hey, senior, I'm working to do your job. I'm working you out of your job. And I told him, I'm like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not working me out of my job. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, you the first like leader I've ever talked to that had that kind of response. Yeah, I'm like, you could never work me out of my job. I was like, I feel like that's what people say when they trying to slick, like start, like some people, right? Some people had the right intentions, but I feel like that like figure of speech went down this rabbit hole now to where like some people saying that and they slick just trying to get out of their roles and responsibilities, I'm like, because my job is to support, this is my LPO, I'm like, my job is to support you. You know what I mean? So no matter how much you think you're doing, I'm here for you. You should never give me an eval that like I don't like add to. You should never give me a product, not even eval. You should never give me a product that I can't add to. I should always be here for you. You know what I'm saying? So you should never, and I know it's a figure of speech that we always use, but where I find it to be problematic for me are a chance that it could be, because if you work me out of my job, then what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, what value do I add to you in your role if you working me out of my fucking job? You can never work. I'm going to find something else to do to be supportive of you. And that's if you working me out my job. But I have a unique job and I don't think anybody could work. And I know where it comes from and I know the intention of it, but I also know people that went and used it the wrong way over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my thought with it. And I'm interested in Damon's thought when, and I know you probably said it a million times. You probably told your first class, you supposed to be working me out of a job. All that, man, I get paid. I get paid in the Navy. Yeah. Like, I have a job to do. Ain't nobody working me out of it. Like, I'm going to add value I'm adding value to your workday. Like, that's my job, is to add value to you, your workday, personally, professionally, and everything I could do. You will never stop me from doing that or whatever. But that's, my take on that. What's yours, Damon?
Yeah, my take is, it's just what you said, man. It's a figure of speech, right? That's all it is. And also it's something that you can tell your assailant to make sure, hey, keep your nose keep grinding. You know what I mean? But I guess the figure of speech also come from the fact that when you do get to this level, you understand what's going on. I don't want to like as much knowledge as you get to my level and the much knowledge that I share with you, you're going to get here and you're going to know what to do. That's kind of like working me out my job. When you get there, also. You know how to handle it. And you know when you be in the mess, because you can't work around a job. You can't even go in the mess and talk about things in there. So it's most definitely a figure of speech when it comes to it. And Damo, you probably, when you say the first one to say it, you probably are the first one to say it because of the fact that it never been broken down like that, though. You know what I'm saying? No one never, like, people always just say it, I'm going to work you out a job. But no one say, hey, hold up. You can do some similar things I may do, but you cannot work me out of my job, because my job is bigger than just, what I do on the deck plates. You know what I mean? My job is bigger than that. My job is like, when we leave work, I still got a job. You know what I mean? Right. All this type of stuff, man, that goes along with it, man. So yeah, Damo, I think, man, you handled that the right way and let people know, like, that's is what it is. Like, we want you to think that. I want you to think you working me out of a job, and I want to give you all the tools that you need to do my job one day. But right now, it's my time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then sooner or later, it's going to be your time too. But then it's my time. I mean,
yeah, because I don't want you to have a perspective that I'm just sitting on my ass in the office.
I was just about to say that, because a lot of people, that's their perception. Like, okay, I'm going to work him out of a job and he ain't got to do nothing. But it's like, no, I'm still going to. And some people want their first class to work them out of a job.
Yeah.
So they can sit back and do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people out
there. Yeah.
It's people out here that's saying that. It's people out here that's using that term for bad. You know what I'm saying? They're using that term with bad intentions.
Right.
And I didn't want that confusion with my OPO. I'm like, no, you're not working me out of it.
I like it. I like it, man.
They just need to perform at the next level. I think that's a better concept.
I hate to say it like that, but one of the things, like, just do your job at a high level.
Can you do your job?
I mean, I don't want to say make that sound bad, but if you do your job at a high level and I do my job at a pretty high level, man, we're gonna be successful as hell.
Yeah, you're gonna be super duper successful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Last thing is my book. Teach, man. You got time to read books now too, man.
I do.
Yeah, Teach got a lot of time.
And actually, that one is your book is on my list. I already downloaded it.
For real?
Yeah, I have the Audible.
So this is the second time I read this book. The first time I read the book, this is the second time I read the book and the second time I'm reviewing this book, right? So I'm revisiting a review for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is I read so many books, some of the stuff I just don't remember. In recent time, right? But so this is You Owe You by Eric Thomas. The first time I read the book, I thought it was like simple, like adolescent. Like I thought it was written I thought I was mentally like over it, like, more mature than what his context was about. And then some things in life happened. It's crazy. Like, life is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, before I read his book, the experiences in life that I had, or like perspective I had about a certain thing about my life didn't happen yet, right?
Mhm.
And it's a new book. It's within the last year and a half, 2 years. So I wasn't really touched by it. It ain't affect me. Some of the time the book was just playing in the background, right? Like right now I'm reading this Dichotomy of Leadership by Jocko and them, and that shit, some of that shit is like really touching me because I'm at a new command. I'm dealing with some stuff. Yeah. So back to this Eric Thomas book though. So the second time I read this book, yo, it hit me so much, yo, about like owning your bullshit, about like not playing the victim, like things like that like I've been having these conversations with like people close to me, and it just meant so much more. I'm so happy that I revisited this book. Like it's so much better the second time than it was the first time. I honestly, like listening to it the second time, it's so much stuff that I'm like, yo, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. So I'm glad I picked it up and read it again. It's one of the book club books that, the book club that we got going on. It was one of the book club books. And I highly recommend this book. And if you do go through it the first time, be like me, try it again.
Yeah.
Go through it again. It's a lot of Jews that Eric Thomas dropped in this book, a whole lot. I guess I wasn't bought into it on the first time around, but second time around, I definitely bought into what he was saying. And I love the book. What I'm saying?
I'm a huge fan of Eric Thomas. So I definitely got
and I went into it not really knowing nothing
who
about
he was.
him.
Oh, okay.
Like, honestly, I ain't know. Yeah, I guess if you want to be great, you gotta sleep. I guess he that dude with them quotes.
Right.
But I ain't know. I wasn't too familiar. My wife even knows. She's oh yeah, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher.
Yeah.
I ain't know who he was. I didn't know nothing about him, but I had bought the book, and now that I read it again, it was good, yo. You should get it, Tish.
Oh, I already have it on my Audible.
Oh, you have the book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have it on my Audible. I just haven't started reading it yet, or haven't started listening to it.
Oh yeah, you should start.
Yeah,
most definitely, man.
And that was it, man.
Yeah, man. We poured almost a 3 hour in here today, man. Messing with y'all, man.
Overtime.
Yeah,
but now I gotta go get on this walk now, man. It's a little hot out there, man. Gotta go down this walk, man. Gotta get it in.
Happy birthday, hip hop. Happy 50th birthday, hip hop. You're getting old, but you're still young.
Yes,
getting old,
yes,
but
indeed.
You're still young.
Yes, indeed, man. Mississippi, stand up.